Instagram.
We had written on the board and everything like that.
And in our room.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. A big show today as we cover many, many topics. Joe Murray is in again for Wallach, who waited 5 hours yesterday to get into Wimbledon, only to be told that he could only watch the women's doubles.
Yeah, he had access to 3 courts, I think he said?
Whatever courts he had access to, they weren't the top 4. Whereas where they had, at this stage of Wimbledon, all the singles matches. So he was stuck with that. And everyone was bored, and everyone was mad, and we knew that was going to happen, but somehow he did not. But Joe is in for him today. And Joe, you like doing mornings more.
I've always enjoyed this time slot. It's been I've either done mornings or nights, or whenever they've needed me to fill in on every other show. So I but today was a tough turnaround, I got to tell you.
I did not. I was unable to go to sleep last night. I had to take my daughter to the airport last night, and I didn't think it was going to happen. Wasn't even a consideration, because we were talking about this yesterday. And when I said I was going to the airport, what's the first thing Joe thought of?
What's near the airport to eat?
Oh, the pizza place,
Santarpio's.
Why don't you go to Santarpio's? So we're not going to Santarpio's. I'm going to drop her off at the airport, and I'm going to go home.
Mm-hmm.
As we are pulling into the Logan Airport property proper, right? My daughter from the back seat. My flight's been delayed 2 hours. And it's an international flight, so we were getting there 3 hours before, departure. So her flight wasn't until 9:30. We were there at 6:30. So I talked to Fred during this time, too, because my wife and daughter decided they were going to go in anyway. They were going to see what was cooking. I said, that's fine. I'll just sit out here in the passenger drop-off zone. The stadiums are very understanding about that. They won't care one iota that I'm just sitting here. I can. I'll talk to them. It'll be fine. So they go in. Nothing doing with their flight. And so then they start, they're like, my daughter's very upset because now she's not going to get in until later today. She's only going for four full days anyway. And she doesn't want to miss even a few hours of the first day. So they start looking at other flights. What about a different carrier? Well, maybe we can get on Delta. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. Why don't you guys go ahead and I'm not saying a word. I said, yeah, why don't we go down to a different terminal? I'll drop you guys off down at a different terminal. You can look at that Delta flight. Meanwhile, I've already looked at it on my phone. It's $2,000 for a one-way ticket. And by the way, it takes off in 2.5 hours. You're not getting on that flight. You're not getting on that flight. But yep, let's go down there. They feel like they need to do something. So as they were in the second terminal checking things out, I thought, we're going to Santarpio's. This is exactly what's going to happen. They're going to come back out. We're going to have a couple hours to kill, and we're going to go over to Santarpio's. And that's what we did. We drove over. I wasn't expecting to eat dinner, and I felt a little guilty about this because the waitress came over to take our order, and we were just going to get one pizza. And she looked at the three of us and said, the pizzas are like this big. 2 people share a pizza. Sometimes somebody comes in here and just eats one by themselves. And she's scolding us. I said, all right, we'll get 2, knowing full well none of the 3 of us were planning on eating right now. We're just killing time. But we got 2 pizzas and ended up taking a full one of them home. But I felt like she was judging us.
Yeah.
Judging us by only ordering one. Judged us again when we only ate one of them. But
Well, I mean, listen, you're going to have to take your slings and arrows when you go to local establishments.
That's right.
Peter, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to give Joe Murray some intel for the Brook, the event he's hosting at the Brook on Saturday. I just listened to the segment from yesterday coming into work this morning, and I wanted to let him know that all the facilities inside Nine Dragons are private bathrooms. Mm-hmm. And they're very spacious. And also outside of the Secret Garden, which is the new conservatory that they recently built, those bathrooms also outside of the enclosed patio are all private and very large.
Thank you. Yes, the Nine Dragons is a great establishment. You're now the second person to inform me that there are multiple bathroom options at the Brook Casino.
I'm glad we can all help.
Okay, thanks.
Is that exciting for you, Joseph?
Well, I think I've decided I might not enter the wing contest only because after talking with Rich Shea, who runs the event, some of these people are going to be eating 150 wings. And, I could probably do 50. But I don't know if I want to do 150 on a Saturday night when I'm off for a 3-day weekend.
Is it a timed, 10-minute contest?
Yeah, I don't know the specific rules, but it sounds like they already have contestants ready to go. They were just going to wiggle me in there if I really wanted to do it. But I'll be honest, I could probably do 50 to 60. I don't think I can do 100 or 150. I'm going to be real. I don't know. How many wings do you guys think you could eat when you're your hungriest?
Oh, if I were starving, I could probably eat 12 wings.
Okay.
I could eat probably 15.
Yeah. I mean, I know I can do 50, but I don't want to even attempt 100. Okay.
No, you don't want to get sick.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And then, like I said, I'm off for 3 days. I don't want to be on the toilet for 3 days.
But I am fascinated by how food affects you that way, that it gives you such diarrhea.
It's not the diarrhea. There's certain, at Fenway Park, right? I'm going to get hot dogs. I'm not getting the lobster poutine. I love lobster.
You don't get Fenway Franks, do you?
Yeah, a couple of dogs, yeah.
Oh, they're so disgusting.
But what other hot dog am I going to eat?
They have grilled hot dogs.
Oh, they do.
If you walk around, you can find them.
If I had my choice, it would be the street meat, the sausages.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can get those you can get those without leaving the park. You just go out into the outdoor area.
But the street meat won't hit me right away. That lobster poutine is going to hit me right away, and I do not want to use the bathroom at Fenway Park.
I don't understand why people want lobster with cheese on it.
I like lobster with butter on it.
I can't imagine I don't eat seafood, but I can't imagine eating seafood in the sun, outside when it's hot and having anything like that. I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, Hardy, you were talking about how people are out at 4th of July leaving cold stuff out in the heat.
The shrimp salad and the crab meat on crackers and stuff. I'm like, that's just that looks wrong.
What food do you think you guys are aware of the most when you go out to eat about it could upset your stomach?
Oh.
It's more time of day for me. If I eat real late at night at my age and then go to sleep right after, that's a big heartburn situation.
Oh, yeah.
Late night red sauce does not treat me well anymore.
Oof. I know that feeling as well. I ate some leftover fried clams last night. I air fried them and scallops. I'm doing fine right now, but I don't know. I'll have to keep you posted on that.
How do the fried clams do in the air fryer?
Air fryer outstanding,
Okay.
but it's going tonight. That's it. See you later. It's over. So I got 1 day of leftover, and that's it.
When were they left over from?
Sunday night.
Okay, that's not bad.
So I worked here, napped, went to Nesson, napped, ate them. Now I'm here.
Okay.
I did go to bed last night. But yeah, tacos. I don't know, you go to a Mexican joint, eat a couple of tacos. I think you need to give yourself some time after you eat those tacos.
See, I don't have that issue. It's not any particular food. It's now I have gotten food poisoning several times, but that was a very severe food poisoning. Like, there's not. It's time. It's just time, and like then it's heartburn, and that's not even super bad anymore. But like, I'll give you, for instance, like recently, one night, maybe it was Sunday night. It ended up that we had to eat late, and I knew that. Oh, we had pizza. We had pizza like late Sunday. So before I had to take heartburn medicine because I knew if I went to sleep on the pizza that it was going to create heartburn. But just particular foods like during the day, like I could eat anything right now and it wouldn't make me like ill or change the way that I go to the bathroom. I guess if I ate like, a 10-pound salad or something that,
I'm not eating that.
No, you don't like vegetables at all.
No, I love vegetables, just not raw vegetables.
No.
Like I like carrots, but I don't like them cold or raw. I like them hot.
What about with wings?
I'm not dip. I'm not. No, that's garnish.
No,
See ya.
No, the celery and carrots that come with the wings.
It's garnish.
Okay.
See, the celery adds like a little bit of a cooling snap, which I do enjoy. No. Now, so do you make carrots? How do you prepare them?
No, I would boil. I actually like to steam everything. Mm-hmm. I have a rice maker. I have a steamer. I have all that. But I steam all my vegetables.
You ever grill a vegetable, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah,
Corn on the cob I like to put in the tinfoil.
Oh, there you go. Right on the grill.
Yep.
See, I don't like grilling vegetables. I don't like char.
Stir fry is great if you ever.
Well, believe me,
but
I know my way around a wok, my friend. Don't think I don't.
That is one of the divorced dad staples, isn't it? Having the wok.
I don't even have a wok at this house. But,
what?
No. And I made several meals over the weekend. I made chicken wings in the air fryer. Ooh. I made steak. My son demands. He's becoming like a young girlfriend. Unless I put some effort into dinner, like I can't. It's not enough to order it. I have to now make it. I have to make him steak, or it's not. It does not consider that I've been doing my job, which is very feminine of him. That I have to sit there and, cut up steak and like make it, or else he feels like I've been slacking.
Where do you talk about making steak a lot? I think I've asked you this before. Where do you prepare it? In the house?
Oh yeah. I don't have a grill, outdoor grill.
You do it.
I put for him.
Yeah.
I'll put like half a stick of butter, and put it in a pan.
Wow.
And then I put it over rice with all that butter, and then put all this sauce on it. He's got to put on weight. So I give him 500 calories of rice. I slice the steak up.
Oh.
I put it in the pan with an ass load of butter. I pour that over the rice, and then there's this garlic teriyaki sauce from Whole Foods that he very much enjoys, and that's what I do.
So you slice the steak raw?
I do.
Wow.
I trim the fat. With the sauce, it's unnecessary. Okay. Really is unnecessary, but the sauce overwhelms everything. So I don't buy good steak. Like I buy a grocery store like strip steak. I mean it's decent steak, and then I'll trim the fat off of it, and then I'll cut it into pieces. I'll cut it lengthwise and then widthwise, and I'll put that in the pan. It doesn't require, and then I'll just turn it over once. And then I pour all that over rice, and I just get the rice in the bag that you've cooked for 90 seconds.
Okay. The minute rice guy. Yeah, I do the rice maker.
Yeah, people swear by that, but the rice is, if you're putting an ass load of sauce again on it, it doesn't really matter.
I also have a big, gigantic jar of rice, and I pour it in, and then I just scoop it in.
Oh, you're like my friend Alex Cho, whose Korean family would have an industrial bag of rice. Which would sometimes that's a dangerous thing to have around because you can get bugs in it.
Yeah. So I put it in the jar. Big jar.
How big a jar, Joe?
I would say it's about yay big, everybody.
So you got a bit of an OCD situation. You put the rice into a specific jar.
You know what it is? I see the rice. And I see it, and I say, hey, I want rice today.
Hi, rice.
Yes. Instead of, opening up and seeing the fried chicken fingers or the other things. You guys mentioned something I feel like I should share as a public service announcement for Harper.
Sure.
I've had back in the day, I had a condition I didn't know what it was. Got the endoscopy or whatever. It was called GERD. Nothing great. It's gastroesophagus reflux disease, and what it is all the pumps in your stomach are pumping all that acid, but it's pushing it up, so you feel like you're going to throw up. Like Fred was talking about the other night, he had to throw up to feel better.
Oh. Maybe you had a touch of the GERD that night, Fred.
Yes. So I take a Meprazole.
You know, I had a touch of the girl
Yeah.
because I was pounding ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's, they could also affect your acid reflux.
Joseph, I apologize for Fred interrupting. He was in the middle of a medical commercial.
No, I prefer
what is
not
the
to interrupt
medication?
you guys. I don't want to interrupt you
What
guys.
is the medication?
It's called the Meprazole. You can get it right over the counter. I have it prescribed. I have the 40 milligram. And what it does is that you take it in the morning, and it shuts your pumps off. So when you eat, it just goes straight down, real easy, bing, bang, boom.
Well, don't you need the pumps, though?
They'll pump later.
Okay.
What about where do enemas come in?
But yes, I start my day with an omeprazole, and I hadn't had heartburn in maybe 10 years.
You take it every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Well, when I had the throat situation, I had to they were having me take this like heartburn stuff before I went to bed every night because the reflux can grind it burns away in your throat.
Yeah.
So they were like anything that does any of that. So eventually I had to quit all my vices, which I don't like that.
But people who do Tums, dude, that's just chalk.
I agree.
That does nothing for you.
See, that will generally take care of whatever I've got going on. I used to get a lot more heartburn when I drank a lot more soda. That was the worst. But
And I gave up soda 3 years ago. So.
yeah. But I'm on the unsweetened iced tea kick.
Love that.
Well, yeah, except it goes through me so quickly.
Yes.
And if I have 2 sips of this past 8 o'clock, I'll be up 2 hours after I go to bed, going to the bathroom.
The urination of the Pure Leaf.
What?
Yes,
It is real.
it's
It tastes fantastic.
Something in
And
there
I
that
thi-
just triggers your kidneys.
and maybe it's because I drink more Pure Leaf than any other tea, but I can have other teas and it doesn't seem to affect me as much. I think you just stumbled onto something there, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, it's a exciting day. We are learning a lot about fantastic ways to stop heartburn. Mm-hmm. But the United States played a soccer match. It's the first soccer match I've watched all the way through last night.
Oh,
in hopes of a certain result. And there you go. We will have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to
we're Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, the U.S. men's national team played yesterday.
Yes, U.S. and Belgium with Flo Balogun back in the starting 11 after appeals from the U.S. government. And I saw a lot of commentary about this online, Fred. And among the most poignant comments were, if you didn't support the U.S. government getting involved in the suspension of the red card, then you are not a patriot. You know, what was wrong with the government stepping in and practically demanding that Flo Balogun be allowed to play? And this was nothing but good news for the U.S. and in many minds, almost ensured victory for the United States.
I do have a question, and this is not an attacking question. If, like, everyone, this is like a populist thing and, like, go get them, and the world is wonderful and there's so much opportunity and, nose to the grindstone. When have we started becoming a country of whiny litigators? Like, whenever anything, like, I don't know how this relates to people. I really don't, and you can tell me. Like, why are these, like, hard-ass, like, dudes that are super aggro and, like, take care of business and stand on business and do, like, judo, super into hiring lawyers to litigate everything into oblivion? I don't get that. Like, so if you have a problem with the corporation lawyers up and tries to sit you through and price you out, just keep you in court until you can't hang out you can't afford it anymore, and ultimately they win. That's some kind of populist fighting for the man, like fighting against the man kind of thing.
Well, okay.
Like if you're so like anti, this cabal of government or whatever the hell it is, like this team of elites are all doing these things. Well, that's what elite people do. And it's disgusting. They litigate. They sue everything. They just sue. But yet this is some kind of behavior now that the United States, we're supposed to just go, wow, that's really great. Let's just litigate everything. It's really fascinating to me.
Because if you treat your politics like you treat your sporting teams, and it doesn't matter who's playing, it doesn't matter how they're playing, that's who I root for, and that's the team I side with. If, let's say, the head coach of that team is somebody who sues all the time and is constantly in some form of litigation, sued or being sued or something like that, then that's what you end up supporting. That's what you go with. That's what we do now. That's what my team does.
And I have no respect for that. And if you can't see nuance or any kind of gray area, or see, like, if you don't have like a set of beliefs that you kind of stand by, it's regardless of jersey in any sense. But I will. What's the difference between this and when the people in Montreal called the police when Chara hit Pacioretty into the stanchion? Like, remember, we were like, oh, my God.
That was the other side. That was the other team.
But remember, we were like, that's insane. Like, you're calling the police because Chara hit a guy into the stanchion. And I know people go, well, that's different because this was the, litigating against an unfair foul. Kind of. But I think you get the spirit of it. You're calling authorities over something that happened in a game.
So it's different, Fred. It's different.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, listen. That one was hit into a pole.
Stanchion.
It was kind of a odd hit. But this was someone who got a red card. This is the equivalent of a pass interference play getting reviewed later on, and then they pull it away, and the other team wins.
You're saying you could understand Montreal's reaction more than you could.
Yeah, they're loser fans. Well, those are baby-ass losers.
Yeah.
But the whole red card thing, like, they reviewed it when they're not supposed to, right? Usually anyone who gets a red card can't play. So it's just that's not apples and oranges, the Chara thing and the Balogun thing.
It's the apples and oranges in terms of the spirit of it. It's not.
But did anybody come down and be like, we got to call the president for this one? I didn't. I was like, hey, he's not going to play in the next game. Like, maybe there were people
okay,
who did it.
I understand what you're saying, and I think you're misunderstanding my point. My point is kind of like this idea that we're going to cry and whine about it and go to the authorities over it. Like, I understand that it was the people of Montreal, and that you're saying that maybe this is even worse, because those were just lunatic Montreal fans.
Yes.
This is the U.S. government going, oh, you know what, let's step in and, like, be heroes for the day. And, you know, I don't know if we'll be able to manipulate the, like, most crooked organization in all of sports, I guess, according to what everyone's saying. It's just, it's just interesting that people are like these big hard asses about everything, and then they fall in line and clap their hands when, you know, governments or corporations start suing people and waiting them out. Just really odd to me.
Taking sports out of it, I do think there is this group of hardos or people with money that will be like, oh, you do that, you'll hear from my lawyer. Just in general.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
sure.
they always lawyer up and, you know, or once you get the cease and desist, all right, sir, you know.
But it is a relatively new phenomenon. I'm with you, Fred, and it's I don't know, maybe last 10 years or so, where you know those same people before that'd be the last thing they would threaten you with, and now it's the first thing they threaten you with. So something has changed, but maybe this time they were more in line with doing it because the person who was making the phone call and calling the lawyers was himself an athlete.
So I saw the play, and I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a foul.
Maybe more than anyone.
Wasn't even an infraction. That was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going, no, these were two great athletes that got tangled up. And this referee, who is a little bit suspect, if you check his past.
No.
As opposed to whom?
I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy. But very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. You know, even people on the other side, they said, oh, we got lucky. Wow.
Okay. So the call was made.
It will look like two guys collided.
Yeah, okay, we're not going to listen to that anymore. And Valiant ended up playing, and from the jump, the crowd absolutely in a fever pitch, so to speak, if I could borrow from a wonderful Jimmy Fallon film, and which doesn't even make sense now when you think about it. Why did they keep the same name in the book? The book was about soccer and on the pitch.
And the book was good.
And the book was very good. It's a Nick Hornby book. It's very good. And how do you take the crowd out of a match like that? Well, 9 minutes in, you do this.
It's infield. The U.S. is hesitating. A bouncing ball picked up in the box. And that's the opening goal for Belgium. It was de Ketelaere first to react in there in the cross. The U.S. players froze defensively. And now they are in an early hole against Belgium.
You could almost see it happening in real time. The U.S. came out and were outplayed almost immediately.
Yeah, the only thing I can compare it to is hockey because it's the sport that I watch. I guess that's the closest kind of in spirit to soccer in terms of possession and, you kind of understand what I'm saying. Like it's sort of similar in positioning and like, possession on that side of the field and getting over the top and breakaways and stuff like that.
It's the chess match of setting things up and seeing things
Exactly.
how the play is going to develop, not right now, but 2 passes from now.
Right, and even to my virgin eyes, I could tell that, oh, wow, Belgium's a lot better than the United States.
But the passing was so bad from the U.S. team last
night. It was terrible.
I mean, it was just awful. Now, not to say that they weren't in it, because in the 31st minute...
There's a man lying down behind the wall, which means the wall can jump. Tillman over the wall, scores! Malik Tillman! Lightning strikes twice, and the United States has tied the game!
The equalizer in the first half made it 1-1. You've got the crowd back into it. But as to draw from another hockey analogy, Fred, nothing more dangerous than a 2-goal lead in hockey. Nothing more dangerous than a team that was just scored on, especially in World Cup play, because then Belgium came storming back less than 2 minutes later.
Trossard to the byline, gets across, into Ketelaer's rising up, and Belgium retake the lead. Moments later, Charles de Ketelaere climbs the ladder, his second goal, and the U.S. right back where they were.
In a 1-goal deficit, 2-1, and that's how the first half would end. Still a very gettable game, even though the U.S. was not playing well. The passing wasn't there. They appeared flat-footed on defense at times. They were getting outplayed and outclassed. But if you're just going to hand over goals, well, then you have no chance of winning.
Beaten out of the air, Freeze has got to get there and deal with it. He takes it down off the chest to Ketelaere, knocks it away. Tim Ream can't block it. It is a disastrous third goal to concede to Belgium.
Horrible.
One of the worst plays, one of the worst. I don't even want to call it an execution because I'm not sure what the keeper was thinking.
Remember Pats played the Giants last year, and Young-Hoo Koo went to kick the ball but kicked the ground instead. And
Yeah.
then it was that. That was horrific. And at that point, I wondered if they were going to go to Matt Turner. That guy cost them the game. They sucked anyways. They were outclassed. But that guy, that was horrible. I'll always remember that guy, Matt Freeze, is terrible.
It was absolutely horrific. So that made it 3-1 in the 57th minute. Belgium would score again toward the end of the match in the, I believe, 3rd minute of injury time. And that was it. 4-1. Belgium is your final. U.S. eliminated once again from World Cup play.
Damn, USA was favored in this game. They were completely outclassed.
Do you think they were favored in the game because of the betting action on the United States, or do you think because you would know, or is it because they were better?
I think Team USA slowly regressed during the tournament.
Well, yeah, their best game was their first game.
Yeah, and, you saw...
So maybe if you're going on the quality of the team from the way they played earlier, you could make a case for them being an actual strategic, analytical favorite as opposed to just the action that was coming in.
Correct. And Senegal had the lead against Belgium, and then Belgium came back to win. People thought Senegal was a tougher opponent than Belgium. The worst thing about Team USA, I hate to say this, but they have MLS goaltending. They're the only team in the tournament that has how does the Team USA, Hardy, have they don't have goaltending? Like Howard years ago was very good, right? Was it Mayola years ago was pretty good?
Oh yeah.
How do they not have elite goaltending right now? And it cost them. Like it absolutely cost them yesterday. So I don't know. Belgium should be better at Team USA in soccer, but you made it to the round of 16. You're still not a top 10 country when it comes to soccer. Like, I don't know. Is this going to help it in 4 to 8 to 10 years? It's just, I guess I'm only upset because I bit the cheese on them last night, and they completely looked outclassed and were horrible.
Yeah, they did not look good, and I've heard a lot of analysts say this. I don't know if anything that happened before this match did them any favors. Like all this crap before the match with the rescinding the red card and everything.
Yeah.
Because they came out and everyone says they looked nervous when they came out. And
before they even stepped on the field, they looked like they were going to lose the game.
Right, and I'm not positive. I'm not positive because we live in a world where this won't we'll never know. But I don't. It certainly didn't help anything. Rescinding that red card. Maybe that team could have rallied around the unfair red card. I mean, they not lost by 3 goals. That might have been a possibility. Or maybe they would have lost by 6. But again, we'll never know because we had to get involved and start litigating everything. Go ahead, Tyler, please, if you would, sir.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are we today?
Good morning, sir.
Pleasure to be here. First time, long time. One question, and I'm going to pull a Fred Toucher and just leave it right here. Why is any government getting involved in sports? Period. Isn't that the argument here?
unless it's like a monopoly situation or a business or tax situation, I agree. Like what happens on the field, I don't think that anything that the government should be involved at all, which I thought was the whole idea anyway, is that the government stays out of things.
What was that? What was the
right? Honest
small
competition,
government.
Isn't that the deal?
Small government seems to be something that was at least a positive in my view. It's small government. At least that's a philosophy and a way of doing things that you could stick to. I don't know why. Yeah, like, dude, I don't understand. I don't understand how this is in any way something that people go like, hooray, we're the United States. We litigate and get involved and complain about everything. Leave that to me.
Do you remember when there was a U.S. rep and a senator from Louisiana who wanted a congressional hearing after the no call in the NFC championship game between the Saints and the Rams, and there was the no call on the pass interference, and it looked like they were going to get a congressional hearing. I don't think it ever happened, but they wanted to essentially go beyond litigation in that they actually wanted to have hearings about it on the House floor and in Congress about what happened. It's like it was a blown call and it was awful and it was terrible, but once it happens on the field, that's it. It's kind of over with. You can hope that a referee gets fired over it or that the NFL would take matters into their hands afterward. But short of some business dealings that the league is doing, unless they're doing something illegal with the way they're operating their actual business, no. You can't go and litigate and start, calling for, Congress to take action because a call happened or didn't happen against your team. It's ridiculous.
I was just reading it here. A federal judge rejected a call by 2 New Orleans Saints ticket holders to force a do-over of the 2019 NFC Championship game.
Yes.
They actually ticket holders, right? Because they went to the game and now they feel that it was fraud. So now do it again.
Right.
Ugh.
It's just I'll never understand it. It's it wasn't fair. It wasn't like a fair red card. He didn't deserve it. I'll take everyone's. They're the experts. I don't know anything. Fine, he shouldn't have gotten the red card. But I don't know why the government had to go around we'll sue. We're gonna sue.
Yeah.
Well, great. We'll sue everybody. And that's a good way to live. That's how we'll all live our lives now, is suing everyone for everything. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Lombardi talking about the U.S. men's team in soccer and the government getting involved. Jason, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so the reason why it's such a big thing, obviously, is because the United States, but it actually got overturned. But it's not the first time that a government has actually, threatened FIFA. A while ago, you had Mexico, whose crowd continuously chanted a homophobic slur, which I don't think is really that bad, but I guess translated is pretty bad, to where they had games suspended. They had games that actually just got completely canceled. So they actually appealed, and it got kicked back to where they didn't get the approval. So there are other countries that technically did fight for their stance. They just never won. This is the first time, I guess, on the big stage that anybody's actually ever won.
Right. Yeah. But if you heard another country was doing that, wouldn't you be like, kind of?
I think everybody technically just hates on it because, I understand everybody hates Trump, and then he's like,
oh no,
doesn't know what the hell he's really talking about.
I would get upset. I can assure you. Would have to take my word for it. This has nothing to do with Trump. This is this particular thing has nothing to do with Trump. I would have been like, what the hell is going on? Just knock it off. Especially since apparently, this has been the greatest thing ever, and the United States is, shown itself to be this wonderful place, and everyone is loving it. And then you would figure, because, the United States, I know they were favorites, but Belgium's had more success in the World Cup than the United States. Maybe there would be some goodwill. People would actually internationally be rooting for the United States. And then the United States just litigates to get a player, and puts pressure on a corrupt organization to get a player to play. And you would be like, this is crap. Like, for instance, if the United States played Argentina, and Messi was going to be suspended, and then they came in and then they said no because the Argentinian government came in and made this happen. I mean, everyone would be BS about it. I just don't understand. And by the way, this is the United States, and it's the only place I live. I don't understand the whole populist litigation thing, because it's nothing any of us can do. It's not in any of our powers to do it. It's only corporations and governments.
I think the problem is we're not really blessed by living in Europe, because this is exactly why all the good players go to Europe, and why MLS is bad, and why everybody hates Alexi Lawless, because you can't really compare American soccer to European. If you looked at the rankings, United States, I could have told you they were going to lose 10 times over, and I'm American. I would love to see them win. It would be a great Cinderella story. But you knew from the get-go you were basically going against a top 10 team in the world. Belgium was ranked, I believe, 8th. United States is lucky to be in top 20. I think they're 16th or 17th. Just like yesterday, if you watch Spain versus Portugal, that's soccer. It wasn't a high-scoring game, but everything's methodical. United States, everything's frantic. So when Balogun got the red card, if you're an actual soccer watcher, you watch La Liga and all that stuff, you'd be like, all right, well, he's gone. The next game, it is what it is. To have someone come in and kind of be like, oh, that's not a foul, it's like, well, what kind of experience do you have? Because as a soccer watcher, you just accepted the fate. You got a red card, it is what it is.
Right.
So you're kind of just belittling the game. You're just bending the rules just because you're such a high power. And not for nothing, you're also a home country. You're hosting the World Cup. So I feel like it was kind of like they got favoritism there. Because any other country pulled that, it would have been like, all right, kick rocks.
Yeah, and then what happened when Belgium scored the 4th goal and they started doing the Trump dance?
Because they're just a better team. They're a European team, and they had no business playing them. It was a Cinderella story, but like I said, anybody who watched that game and knows soccer, you would have expected that.
Right. Yeah, well,
I thought they had a chance, though. I really did. No. Once they stepped on that field. The other thing that caller said, this isn't a hot take, but if Alexi Lawless is the face of American soccer, you suck.
Well, I had read about him, and then I saw him yesterday, and I don't understand the direction. So he's like a wrestler. Again, this is wrestling. It's another one of these wrestling guys. He's being a heel, and I don't know if that's the place for that. just be authentic and give an authentic opinion about what you think is really happening. He's like looking at the crowd and like trying to antagonize the crowd. That's so hacky. It's just a hack thing. Just get up there. If you believe something that is not popular and you're saying it authentically, then that can be great. Fantastic. But if you're seemingly deliberately like leaning into this heel wrestling character like you're Sergeant Slaughter or something, it's ridiculous. Now I see why everyone can't stand the guy. And it's obvious the other two guys on it, at least, they can't stand him.
Yeah. They're barely suffering through it.
So, they're moving him around. Again, it's pretty JV stuff. Like, I'm going to be this character. And it's not even funny. Like, it's not even a funny character. It's just, I'm a dick. I don't even really probably believe half the crap I'm saying. And I'm just going to do, well, no, you're an ex-soccer player from the United States. You're supposed to be an analyst. Like, you're supposed to be saying, like, actually what you think is happening to help people like me understand this. And the World Cup it's like a Super Bowl pregame show, right? You're talking to an audience that doesn't consume this product all the time. Like, you have an opportunity. It's more important than a pregame show on a Sunday afternoon for NFL. All those people watch football anyway. This is a very important studio crew that could set everything up. And he was literally looking at they're outside. He's
Instead
like looking
of being
at the
analyst,
crowd.
Yeah, he's a hype man.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like antagonizing deliberately, and I don't believe he even believed what he was saying.
For 30 years, though, like Liz Landon, USA doesn't have a face for the game. Their face is that jerk off, Alexi Lawless, who I can't stand. By the way, like I just don't want to hear him talk. He tries to talk like he's an analyst, but you're right. Like, a guy actually kind of pisses me off, but to a point where I want to watch and see what he says next. So he's kind of doing his job, right? Like, he's got me hating him, but I'm watching. Team USA really does need a face. I think Taylor Twellman is spectacular on television. So, like, that would be the guy I would look at because at least he can explain the game.
Right.
But he probably just didn't play on the level of Alexi Lawless.
See, I can't hate watch someone that I know is just doing a character. Like, I can't do that. If they were like truly nuts and just saying crazy ass stuff, that would be fascinating.
Yeah, if it were authentic and you didn't like it, that would lead me to hate watch too.
Like
and
Terry
also,
Bradshaw kind, you mean? Like a guy who just kind of says something like Bradshaw would?
More like if Barkley didn't have the charm that Barkley has, like if there was someone who was just like, this game sucks, or like, was just their real personality and their real opinions were so out there. I guess like a Howard Cosell was supposed to have been back in the day. Like, he's authentically this dick that thinks he's an intellectual. Like, I think that you could be like, I hate this guy so much I got to see it. Not when you're, might as well be walking into a ring doing a promo on Piper's Pit. I don't really need
Cage match.
to see
Oh,
it.
no.
That's right. All right, we got a break. We'll be right back.
Toucher and
then went on to say that the second apron is a real thing, and it's not about the money at all. Team USA fell 4-1 to Belgium in the World Cup. Spain advanced 1-0 over Portugal today. Argentina and Egypt at noon. Colombia, Switzerland, 4 p.m. And the Red Sox continue their 9-game road trip in Chicago tonight. Peyton Tolley gets the start. First pitch is at 7:40. Headlines, they are brought to you by Jeep. I Can. You can't spell American without it. During their Jeep Make the Summer event, celebrate 250 years of the country that can with a great deal on vehicles that always can. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
But he's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the spot. The Sports Hub.
Why do people listen to Toucher?
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Brad Stevens is a general manager, not an owner. The Celtics are owned by an investment group that does not also own TD Garden. So they're not swimming in cash. It's not very profitable.
We're Toucher and Artie. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Joe Murray is here for Wallach, who is carousing around in London, England. Today. Perhaps his kids will wait in another field for 5 hours to do something they don't want to do today. But yesterday, Brad Stevens did something he probably didn't want to do. Hello. He had to see him and Bill Chisholm, the lead governor, of course, of the Boston Celtics, he being of the position of lead governor, as opposed to all the secondary governors that are,
Lieutenant
cavorting
governors.
around. Well, I call them. Lieutenants are lieutenants. I don't like using military terms for people in business, but nonetheless, they sat in front of the media. They had to explain themselves about the return for Jaylen Brown, Artie, and it was quite a show.
Yeah, 45 minutes of Q&A with Brad Stevens and Bill Chisholm, and a couple of really good exchanges here. The first one I want to focus in on is Noah Dalzell. Are you familiar with
Yes,
Noah's
Noah,
work?
CLNS, yep.
Okay, very good. Something that I think so much of the analysis and so much of the writing and commentating that have gone on about this is I just don't get it. I don't see it. What's happening here? And that was the question that she posed to Brad Stevens in a way.
Brad, I know you've been talking for a while, so you've touched on some things, but fans, no. But fans are, as you probably know, it's not your job to listen to the noise, but fans are very angry at this trade, and most media just covering this trade is very perplexed as to why this happened. And I'm wondering, from your perspective, is there something that we're missing on why this had to happen? You mentioned, we wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for the Supermax and the CBA. Like, is there a big thing that we are all missing in our evaluation of?
No, I would just say, like, listen, we have to make really hard decisions with every piece of information that we have, and ultimately, this is the decision we came to, and obviously, in many circles that's not popular. And we understood that coming into it, and so that's just something that you have to really consider and weigh. But ultimately, the reasons that we've made the decision are the ones I've shared.
Yeah, you have to consider all the considerations. You have to reason through all of the reasons. No, there's nothing missing. You're not missing out on anything here. There's just all this stuff happened, and it happened because of the reasons and the considerations. Not good enough. Not good enough, especially when Dan Shaughnessy is there and he has questions.
Brad, this one sort of goes back to you talking about yourself being a kid. Does this trade make the Celtics better next year?
We'll find out.
Can you see how it would be demoralizing for your fan base to believe that it makes the team better next year?
That it makes it better. Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess I don't really know what you're getting at there, Dan.
Well, the 10-year-old kid in you, I mean, if this happened to your team, would you have a hard time fathoming that the team's going to improve because of this next year?
Well, I don't think the team improves or not improves necessarily based on one player or subbing one player for another.
Stop right there.
Well,
how
is that possible?
Of course it does. It's basketball. And you could say this about a lot of teams. You could say it about football. You could say it about baseball.
Not a quarterback.
But especially in basketball, of course you can improve. Or of course you can get worse by subbing one player for another. What the hell
then why pay anyone? Yeah, then why pay anyone a max contract if it doesn't matter?
You've got 5 guys on the court for your team at one time, and presumably your best players are going to be playing 36 minutes out of the 48 that the game goes for. Yes, you can absolutely get measurably better or worse on the substituting of one player for another.
Well, just go get SGA then. I mean, Oklahoma City doesn't need him. I mean, why would they need him?
Yes, if you subbed out Cade Cunningham right now for Baylor Shireman, I don't know if the Pistons are going to be any better or worse. What are we talking about?
Why is there a draft then? Like, why is any of this happening? Like, if it's all the same, then they should just go. It's like. Just randomly, every team gets, as long as everyone gets an even amount of kids coming out of college, then everyone's okay.
That was Stevens is, you want to give him credit for sitting there and answering questions for 45 minutes and trying to talk about through, all the reasons and machinations, all that stuff. That alone is enough to make me throw up my hands and say, well, this is all nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess I don't really know what you're getting at there, Dan.
Well, the 10-year-old kid in you, I mean, if this happened to your team, would you have a hard time fathoming that the team's going to improve because of this next year?
Well, I don't think the team improves or not improves necessarily based on one player or subbing one player for another. Right, we're doing other things too, right? We just had a draft. I'm not allowed to talk about our free agents yet, but we've had looks like we're going to be adding a couple of free agents. So, like, at the end of the day, there's a lot to the team. And as I said before, that's not an individual thing for me. It's about the depth of the group. It's about the team. And so there's a lot of factors there. So I don't know what you're getting at necessarily.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you know exactly what he's getting at, and you're talking about the depth of the team because depth is what wins you championships.
Well,
it's the 6, 7, 8 guys.
But that is a theory, and that's the Knicks' theory: is that the Knicks have one star, and that it took that great amount of depth, and it's the same thing with you can't have 2 max guys. I understand that theory is that you don't want Brown's salary so you can build depth around Tatum, and that's like if you're going to get, and again, it's the same thing why they went after Giannis, is that you want, if you have 2 max guys, you want the 2 guys to be top 10 players, top 5 players, like that kind of situation. Fine. But the thing is, they didn't get anything in return. That's what's interesting to me, not the strategy of getting rid of Brown. I always understood that. I thought they would get rid of Brown. I was crazy enough to think. It's not that I thought. They were getting rid of Brown. In that, if we would have came in here and even they would have said we got rid of Brown for 15 draft picks, I would have gone, okay, yeah, I guess you can do a lot with those draft picks. You can this, that, and the third. But they took on another crap contract and received, I know that they find, and now it's getting spun that these picks are going to be very valuable. Fine. But not what you thought that they would get, and lesser players conceivably got less of a return. Mm-hmm. We all, I guess, apparently, according to the league, overvalued Brown. I'm just interested in that. Not why you got rid of Brown so much as why you got rid of Brown. And it was so urgent, and that you got so little in return.
Well, they mentioned
this is my show. No, I'm just
kidding. Sorry, I didn't mean to be Wallach over here. I apologize.
You know what I'm doing.
Just the whole thing is, I've heard that before from another. Never mind.
That's why I did.
2 players, 70% of the cap, not sustainable is what they said. They now have 2 players that are at 70% of the cap, that's supposedly not sustainable. So they never wanted Tatum and Brown this year. That's what I got out of that, because they now have two guys here that are 70% of the cap, and it's Tatum and George.
Right.
And they want to sell us that it's easier to maneuver that 35% of the cap for Paul George and picks when they still have that 70%. So it's like, you're not better. You're just not better. Don't sell it that you're better. That really pissed me off yesterday, because they should have just come out and said, we're moving on with the Tatum-Brown dynamic. We're going in a new direction. And Danny Ainge, very honest, right? When he would come on, he'd talk about things.
It was great.
They weren't honest yesterday. Optionality? If someone threw out, you just talked about litigation and stuff like that. If someone throws optionality at you, Fred, like, you're going to check them. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
And that's the thing, Joe, is that I agree. I don't even know how it saves you money. Well, they don't have to give him the extension. Well, you didn't have to necessarily give Brown the extension. I mean, he wasn't going to sit in the middle of the floor with his legs crossed. I mean, this doesn't make it. That's what doesn't make any sense. Again, if they would have traded Brown for picks in, like, you know, a young player that was okay under a very low contract, you could go, okay, that was for money. And they're spinning it, but maybe not, that this is the way they're going to try to build, that they feel that they just won't win with the two of them. But I find it very hard to believe, because of what Joe just said. You traded for a worse player, making about as close as you can get in these figures to the same amount of money for the next 2 years. Why? That's what I want to know. Are they protecting Brown? Are they? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the league didn't want Brown. We've had these conversations a million times, but I have to reiterate them because none of this is being answered.
They did say, just to follow up with your answer there, Paul George's contract is shorter. And I don't want to step on your toes here, Hardy, but they kept saying it wasn't about the money. So if Paul George's contract is shorter, isn't that money?
Okay, so their argument would be that it frees us up to be more flexible when that's over. But then you mentioned this yesterday, and it's a fact. You're wasting a couple years of Tatum's prime. I don't know why you had to take on a bad contract to get rid of Brown. Now, I know why you had to do it to Philadelphia, because apparently they were the only team that would deal with you. There's a lot. It's a fascinating trade, and it's not all from the Celtics' end. It's fascinating league-wide. It's fascinating because of Jaylen Brown. What's going on?
Yes. Okay, so let's hear what Brad said, and just there's so many things here, but one of the things you just said, Fred, was why Philadelphia? You know, why could it not have been a team like Portland or Sacramento or someone that you would not have to face time and time again?
Brad, when did you decide to come to that conclusion, it's time to pull the trigger? And was it when you saw the Philly offer? And I think, as you mentioned, with kids, most fans would say Red Sox, Yankees, Bruins, Canadians. Why Philly?
Thank you, Dan Roach.
Yeah, that's a great question. No,
it wasn't Dan. Bad question.
If I say I or me, like, got a huge group in here that lean on greatly, lean on Bill and his expertise, lean on everybody's thoughts, right? But ultimately, you know, when you say right when Philly offered, no, like, you lose sleep. And you might go back and forth and you might negotiate the terms, whatever the case may be, but these are not decisions you make in haste or in a rush. You've thought about it, and hopefully you make the right one at the right time. I realize not a lot of people think that, and I'm okay with that. The Philly part, I'm with you. That is a hard thing to trade a guy that you, first of all, care so much about, but secondly, have so much respect and admiration for, to a team that just beat you in the playoffs, and that you're going to literally play 6 times before the playoffs next year with our 2 preseason games. But I do think that ultimately, when you do a deal, you have to be thinking about you first and the optionality it creates for you. If I was being honest, if that exact deal came from a team out west and you were comparing the two, then you probably take the team out west. But that's not the way it was working.
Yeah, why? He can't answer that because it's not his question to answer.
Well, the team out west didn't have Paul George.
And Brad, as I listened to you describe Paul George and his possible fit here, the word diversifying the attack, the word playing a complementary role on both sides. Just want to make sure I get this clear. Do you see Paul George fitting in a complementary role possibly better while still getting the optionality in your roster than keeping Jaylen Brown in Boston?
I think that we did the deal because Paul George is a good player and we got draft assets. I'm not like, this is what I said about being taken out of context. Jaylen's a hell of a player. If he's on your team, you need to feature him and use him. And that's the bottom line. Paul's a different player. Paul is a hell of a player too, but he's a much different player.
He's hurt all the time and he's 36.
You can't feature a guy who doesn't play that much.
He sucks. He did PEDs last year too.
Was it PEDs?
Yeah, last year.
No, I know he had a drug suspension, but I didn't. It wasn't clear if it was PEDs.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
See, because I had gotten people coming back at me saying that it wasn't PEDs.
Banned substance, improper medication.
Yeah.
Stemming from the knee injury and mental health.
Okay, but that could be anything. That could be painkillers, but which I guess it could be any drug, though, right?
How many people fail the anti-drug program in the NBA?
Look, dude, I'm not saying he didn't. I just said he's not going to play. I don't know.
But but come on, the NBA.
I was not attacked. I was respectfully corrected when I had said PEDs before because people were telling me that it wasn't PEDs. It was just that he loved drugs. But I don't know. I guess PEDs is better.
Yeah, he blamed mental health for the banned substance, is the report.
So, so I'm guessing it was recreational drugs.
Whatever.
Hell yeah.
He's not a guy that you feature. You know, he's a different player.
No, he doesn't play. Yeah, he doesn't play.
He's been traded for a great amount of guys,
but
too.
that does, to Brad's point, that does create optionality. If he's not a guy that you need to play and need to feature,
he's got a lot of championships.
You've got options with a player like that. We don't have to feature him. No, absolutely not. Now, Jaylen Brown is a guy that you've really got to put the spotlight on, but Paul George, no. We got options here. He can play, he cannot play, as he tends to do. How does it help Jason Tatum if you're trying to maximize the Jason Tatum window?
Hi, Brad. Lauren Walsh from Boston 25. How does this move support and maximize Jason Tatum at this point in his career?
I think Jason and Jaylen have had a remarkable partnership where they complemented each other great and have played with other great teammates, both that are here and not here. And it'll just be on Jason to continue to grow individually and accentuate the people that are around him now. But yeah, I mean, what they did together was awfully impressive.
In other words, it doesn't. This move does not support and maximize Jason Tatum. His answer was Jason Tatum has to be better, and he has to make the players around him better. Okay. So that does not. It does nothing to support Jason Tatum in his window.
I'm not here to talk about this could be a good deal down the line. It is about why they traded Jaylen, like this whole press conference. But I feel like they are putting more on Jason Tatum. And listening to this today, I'm wondering about Tatum's future now. Like listening to Chisholm, who you haven't played yet. Listening to him and then hearing Brad hung out to dry. Like, this is Brad being hung out to dry, trying to answer these questions. And now I'm worried about Tatum's long-term future. And I'm wondering if Brad Stevens still wants to stick around, because there was a quote in there when he goes, "Man, I miss being a coach today." When have you heard Brad Stevens said that? Everyone says, "Oh, cushy job," or if North Carolina comes up for a job, Brad Stevens is one of the head guys, right? Or Indiana opens up. So everyone's like, why would he leave the Celtics? This is why he would leave the Celtics.
It wasn't the reason that he wanted to be in the front office, kind of like his family. And if his kids are out of the house, maybe he would want to go back into coaching. Now, I don't think he'd want to go back into college basketball because that's not what it was. I mean, that's worse. That's way worse than being an NBA coach now, I would guess.
Well, maybe he might like the NIL now that he's been dealing. Instead of salary caps and aprons, maybe he can just give kids money.
Yeah, but then you got to give them money and then actively recruit them when they're on your team.
True.
Which is apparently not overly pleasant.
Well, did you see Nick Saban's trying to abolish NILs in football?
Yeah, well, that's not happening. That's
oh no, he can get it done if they legislate it.
Yeah, let's
if they sue.
Well, he's smarter than Tuberville, and that idiot is a senator. So I mean, Tuberville's an idiot, like a real dummy. But all those hicks just go, oh, you coached the football team. Now now you can do whatever you want.
You didn't even play Bill Chisholm. I'm out on him.
All right.
Out.
All right,
we'll get to Bill Chisholm later.
Yeah. We got Joey. Anything you want, baby. We got it for you. I like that you got a lot to say today. If you don't get the reference when I said it was my show, don't worry about it. That's an old reference that between Joe Hardy and I. That has nothing to do with me. I wasn't even here when that was said. All right. Bill Koch is going to join us. He'll explain everything that's going on in the World Cup now that the United States is out.
Stay tuned for more.
Ridiculous.
The Sports Hub.
Belgian celebrations fill the Seattle air as the Red Devils roar into the quarterfinals. The American dream fizzles out despite pockets of promise on the day and plenty to admire during their journey. But today they were outfought, outplayed, and they are out.
Sarah wearing a Bauhaus t-shirt.
Oh, to show that he's hip.
In the video.
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't that interesting, though? Peter Cetera, of all people, is wearing the Bauhaus. And isn't it interesting? Chicago wasn't that bad a band for like a chunk of time, and then they became a horrible band. When Cetera took over, kind of they were kind of like a funky little horn section situation happening.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely had their own style, and I respect them for that. But I never found myself putting on a Chicago album and listening to it.
I never, ever, ever, ever have put on a Chicago album or listened to anything off of streaming.
Oh, I have.
But what era? What era?
80s, you know.
But
now.
See, that's terrible. That's dentist office music. How can you listen to that? That's
hard for me to say I'm sorry.
Doesn't that remind you of getting your teeth drilled, though?
I don't know. I just loved Peter Cetera. I don't know what it was.
See, before that, though, because I'll hear something and I'll go, oh, and then they'll go, that's Chicago, and I'll go, why wasn't that bad? But no, Hardy, I've never purchased a Chicago record or
do you know why?
Seek them out on Apple Music.
Before you say you want to get married to and have 900 of Chicago's babies, maybe you should go listen to a full album.
The Karate Kid movie is why I liked Peter Cetera, because I'm your knight in shining armor.
Can we?
From a long time ago.
Yeah. Great lyric.
But it was from
from a long.
Oh
no, you don't mean from now.
No, not from today, but not even yesterday, but longer ago.
I'm like a Neanderthal man, a caveman from a long time ago, as opposed to someone who's just been
a knight in shining armor from 2022.
Well, I mean, he could only imagine there'd be flying cars in 2022 at that point. All right, so Bill Koch covers the Red Sox, college hoops, and more for the Providence Journal. He's been covering the World Cup. Hello, Bill.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
We are well. So what did you make of the government getting involved in the overturning of the red card for the United States?
It's about par for the course for Trump at this point, isn't it? I mean, any chance to lean on institutions and break norms and insert himself in controversy, he's never shied away from that. And it made us villains in the eyes of the world. We're being mocked by pundits from international stations here covering the World Cup. And,
well, Rooney went nuts. Wayne Rooney on the BBC said it was a disgrace. Bill, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I did. But it did seem like there was all these like good vibes that. Look at the United States has been such a wonderful host, and everyone's having such a good time. Certainly here, and then everywhere else, and then it's like we step in and start going like we're going to sue you, we're going to litigate, and then it's just like you lose all that goodwill.
Well, and even Balogun sensed it to a point. He went to Belgium's manager after the match, Rudy Garcia, and apologized for the controversy, and Garcia said he really appreciated that coming from the player. And I think Balogun is sort of caught up in this as just a piece of it. He's a vessel for other people's politicizing this. I find it ironic that Trump would go to bat for birthright citizen. He don't really care about
Bill Koch. How dare you?
I think I don't think he cares who Flo Balogun is or where he's from or what he does going forward. But I think it's just it's a symptom of where we are right now in terms of government.
Was it bad for the United States team? Do you think it affected them because they played? I mean, look, I watched the whole thing. It's the first soccer match I've ever watched in my life, to be candid. But they according to the announcers and for my own eyes, they looked like they were off from the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't think the controversy had anything to do with the game. I think Belgium is just the best team that they played in the tournament by far, and I think there are levels to this. And I think you look at the USA, this is about where they go out of the tournament typically in the round of 16. They can get through the group stage. they can beat teams who are below them in the pyramid, like Paraguay and Australia and Bosnia. But once they run into one of the big boys, whether it's Belgium or Germany in past World Cups, they get dismissed. And I think you saw a side last night that was nervous, that was uncertain of themselves defensively, that made critical mistakes in the game that were punished harshly. And I think that's just the reality of the World Cup and the reality of international soccer at a high level.
Okay, so there was talk of before now that the United States, they've invested a lot in the coach. I hear this every I guess 8 years, because 4 years is I guess 2. It doesn't happen every 4 years in terms of the United States, but every so often you hear that, okay, this is it. The United States is going to take on the world now. They're going to become a factor in the world in terms of soccer. Do you get that impression that's happening now, or was this kind of where they are and where they should probably remain?
In order to take on the world, we need real systemic changes at a grassroots level to develop players. The pay-for-play model that we use, these travel teams where parents pay thousands of dollars for their kids to be coached by somebody else's mother or father, that's not realistically going to develop players who can beat the best teams from Europe and from South America. You need the best coaching, and you need access to it. If you look at Norway, who is really making waves in this World Cup, Norway has made youth sports free for the last 4 decades. They're a much smaller country than we are, but they're giving their people access and uncovering the best players. The second part of that for us is recruiting. We need players like Balogun, who might be dual citizens, who could play for other nations, to play for us. Someone like Serginho Dest, who had a nightmare in the match last night, is a dual citizen who grew up in the Netherlands. He's a son of a U.S. service member, and he was ultimately recruited to play for us. He's played at a very high level in Europe. Those are the types of guys we need to target, but it has to start here. You need a pipeline. You need accessibility for the best players here in the country, the best athletes here in the country, and you need to be able to entice them to play in bigger numbers.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill, because it seems to me and again, this was an explanation I got years and years ago, but I think it still holds true. Players from other countries will, and parents of kids in other countries will send their kids off to other countries, and whether it's to Europe or to join, junior clubs from larger clubs, and send them off to start playing against better competition at a very early age. I don't think you're ever going to convince American parents to do that. So in order to kind of fix the problem, you need to change things systematically here in this country so that the training and the competition is better here, because sending them off at the age of 15 is not something U.S. parents are going to do.
No, and it's a huge decision and a huge commitment for the parents to do something like that. I understand that. But if you look at culturally where some of the other nations are that we're trying to chase in this, just consider England. Harry Kane is arguably their best player. Harry Kane got released by Arsenal when he was 9. He was signed by them when he was about 6 to play in their youth system. Ultimately got picked up by Tottenham, wound up a terrific player at Tottenham, and now he's at Bayern Munich. But it starts that early over there. And those kids are signed, competing at a very high level, receiving high-caliber instructions, technical instruction from professional coaching staffs right from the start, so that when they get to 16, 17, 18, they start to make their pro debuts, they are way ahead of kids here who are playing in high school, considering playing in college. They've already made a choice that soccer will be a career and outlet for them. And that starts all the way at the bottom, and it's something that the U.S. Soccer Federation needs to address realistically instead of the model that they use now.
Okay. I want to talk, and you, we don't have a ton of time left, but about the third goal last night that Belgium scored. which you took not only Reese, the keeper, to task, but Tim Ream also for not getting back. And I'm glad you did that because it seemed like as big of a gaffe as that was, they had two opportunities to where that didn't have to happen.
Well, they entered the tournament with, or at least I did, with questions about Tim Ream, certainly. He is the captain. He's been a reliable servant for us for a long time, but he is 38 years old and doesn't play at the highest level in Europe anymore. And you saw in two of the goals he got exposed. De Ketelaere bullied him for the header that put Belgium ahead right after the Tillman free kick. And then he just didn't get his coordination right. On the shot by Vanaken. He should have been able to stop it and was not. And I think that, that's an indictment of our player pool that Tim Ream is still the captain and still one of our two center backs at 38 years old, that we didn't necessarily develop or identify a player that could replace him in the lineup. And, he wasn't exposed through the first four matches, but in the biggest one, on the biggest stage, he had his worst game, and he wasn't alone in that, unfortunately.
And I don't think you were using hyperbole last night when you said in the moment that is a play that a good high school team doesn't allow to happen, and that a good college team, it wouldn't happen. It's kind of unfathomable how that goal happened last night.
No, it was dreadful. I mean, Freeze panics. Obviously, gives the ball away, and then it's a full scramble in their own half. And, that's the sort of thing that happens when players come under pressure who aren't necessarily used to being there. I mean, if you look at England-Mexico the night before, you've got Jude Bellingham scoring two great goals in the Azteca. Jude Bellingham plays for Real Madrid. He's not worried about playing at Mexico. Kane slots away the penalty in the second half that ultimately wins the match. He's played for Tottenham, for Bayern Munich. He's played in the Champions League final. He's not worried about necessarily playing at Mexico. And so when you progress to this point in the tournament, you're just dealing with a different caliber of player from a talent perspective and from an experience perspective. And what you saw over 90 minutes last night is that we're just not there yet.
All right. Well, there you go. Bill Koch from the Providence Journal. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Bill Koch. We'll be back. Here are the headlines. We are Toucher and Hardy. And pretty soon we will have our big songs of summer. But, Joe, will you still be... How have you been doing gambling on the World Cup?
It's been hit or miss for the most part. There's been some good runs. I had Mexico the other night over England. England was outstanding. They won. And I took the over 2.5 yesterday, which went way over. But, yeah, it's going to get tougher as we go here. But in the end, Fred, like, I don't know. Argentina versus Egypt. Shouldn't Argentina win? Like, when you look at just some of these groups here, don't think about it. Just one nation's better than the other. So yeah, I've enjoyed it though. I will say that.
I've heard a lot of people making a lot of money because the Stars have scored multiple goals in many games.
Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, Kane. Those are the big ones.
And that people have, like, novice gamblers have just picked out the Stars and said they're going to score goals, and those have hit.
If you know footy, you're making money.
But this is an example of not knowing it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, just bet the Stars.
Yeah, just betting Stars, just so you have something to watch.
What's cool in soccer is you can bet if somebody has an assist or a goal, and you'll win your bet if they get one or the other.
Oh,
which is kind of interesting.
Oh,
Seems
I see.
Like same payout for an assist.
A little more juice, and it depends on the person too. Like. Last night, Balligan, I think, was plus 125 to score. He had a one-on-one chance, by the way.
Yeah,
he did look like the best player on the pitch. May I just say that Pulisic, that guy is supposed to be the best American soccer player. He's soft as hell.
Well, he hurt himself. He kicked another guy's leg, and he hurt himself.
Yeah, how many games did he tap out in the World Cup? There was 7, right?
Yeah,
so you tap out of 3 or 4.
I was going to say there was at least 2.
I don't know.
Didn't they keep him out though for his own protection during a game that didn't matter?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
The guy was hyped, and Balogun ended up being the best player, and then Antonio Freeman's son was better too. I don't know his first name. I just know he was Antonio Freeman's son. I don't know. I just feel like U.S. soccer should be better. I don't know.
Why? Because our country has so many millions, many millions more people than anywhere else.
Yeah, that, and like, I like to just be different than Felger. Like, just Felger says things. You guys are on in the morning, so maybe you don't get lumped into that. I'm on after him, so. But he has made a great take about Americans should have great goaltending. Like, you mean to tell me you couldn't put a George Kittle or like some just huge, big-ass dude who's 6'6" could run and move instead of that stiff we saw last night? That guy sucked last night. I'm sorry.
Isn't he in the MLS?
Yeah.
How could he suck?
He's a major league soccer player.
Yeah, this is the major leagues of soccer.
That's the best league.
I'm sorry, MLS.
Major league.
But this is the World Cup. And you mean to tell me in the world of the United States of America,
yes,
that's the best you can find?
Some would say the best world.
He's on a roll.
This is what I do at night. They just let me just let it go.
Right, but you're saying why can't you find a big guy?
The entire United States of America.
Well,
those are the 2 stiffs you find?
Because the best athletes aren't playing soccer.
Here's the other thing. Bill Koch said this.
The best athletes They're playing football and they're playing basketball.
There's more money. But Bill Koch said this. There's guys that are from other countries that could be United States or like you know what I mean? Like that's what I would be doing. If I was running World Cup, I'd be like, who is somebody that's from somewhere else but wants to be an American?
When he played for the United States.
There you go. Boom.
In the Olympics, right.
That's what they got to do. Who's am I the guy that's only thinking about this? Do they have other people? You want to talk about litigating? I want to do that. I want guys who are from elsewhere who want to be United States of American citizens and play for Team USA because those goaltenders, I'm sorry, like I'd rather Hope Solo in there than that guy. That was horrifically terrible. And we crush kickers in football all the time, right? All the time. That guy is professionally a soccer keeper. They're supposed to kick, right? They catch. They can actually hold the ball and kick the ball. He couldn't do either. So
Well, he got
anyways,
nervous.
And I'm not a guy who
He
just
had the
watches
ball out there all by himself.
But I'm not a guy who just watches like once every 4 years, like a lot of other people.
Right, you're a degenerate gambler.
I am.
Yeah.
Damn it. And that guy sucks. And Matt Turner plays for the Revs, so he got bailed out.
How do you feel about the gloves? Felger had a problem with the gloves that they wear.
No, the punching. You don't hear about this punching thing. So the goalies try to punch when they're in a tough situation instead of, I don't know, use their body. The gloves, whatever.
You don't have a problem with the gloves?
No, because I think that you should have hamburger helper hands.
But they wear gloves in every other sport.
Yeah. No, they should have bigger gloves, Hardy. They should get the hamburger helper glove. They need all the help
What's
they
the
can get.
problem with gloves? Linemen wear gloves in football. Receivers wear gloves in football. They wear sliding gloves in baseball and batting gloves in baseball.
I have no problem with the glove.
What's the problem with the gloves?
I believe
they wear them in hockey.
I believe, yeah, they do. I believe Felger thought that the glove was responsible for a misplayed ball earlier in the tournament.
Well, it's those kinds of minds that need to shake things up.
Oh.
Outsiders with new ideas.
How would American parents take to, let's say they were raising Harry Kane here in the U.S. and he got signed to a professional team at the age of 6 and released by that team at the age of 9? Do you think American parents would handle that situation well? Or would there be lawsuits?
I just think it's so funny that you have any idea. It just shows how small you are, I guess, if you're a soccer player. Is that you, at 6 years old, you don't know what a kid's going to be like when he's 16. Like, unless he's like a kid with a beard, like one of the kids with a beard that, is full size and can carry a lot of weight, or an offensive lineman or something like that. But that's 16. At 6 years old, I can tell you this right now, the best kids that my son played sports with, the kids that were best when they were 12 aren't the kids for the most part that are...
Yeah, they peak too early.
Watch the Little League World Series. Those are 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who are the best kids? It's like the kids, like the kids the heavy kids that have developed and are strong, and those are the kids, but those kids are done growing.
Yep.
The kids that get to be real tall, generally, they grow later and then they fill out later. I've 6 years old. Plus, there's the whole just being involved with a 6-year-old at all. 6 years, just that whole, maybe the 6-year-old's only in someone else's care.
Whatever happened to Freddie Adu?
A couple hours a day.
I was going to say maybe 30 minutes a day.
You send him to school, and then maybe there's a little after-school activity, and then they're home.
Do you guys remember Freddie Adu? What the hell happened to that guy?
Oh, do I
remember? He was young.
He bid the world adieu. Hello.
I don't know. Is he still with us?
Oh, no. I just was using... I was playing with adieu. I was just word playing. I'm like a Carlin type.
I know we're up against it, but you guys are parents. I feel like more kids are going to play soccer because it benefits the parents, because you can drop them off at the park and you know that it's about 90 minutes or 2 hours. When you drop the kid at the baseball game, Fred, you don't know when that baseball game's over.
Oh, no.
You're stuck there all day.
Oh, wait, well, there can oftentimes be numerous games.
So I think soccer is really only played because it helps parents at least know how long the kids are gone for a couple hours. Gets them to meet some other parents, meet some other kids.
When your kids play kindergarten soccer, you're meeting parents you're never going to see again. There's kids out there in sweaters, sweaters and collared shirts and jeans. Yeah, these parents, you're never seeing them again. These are real library people. They got a PBS tote bag full of stuff that they're bringing. Yeah, you'll never see them again. That's what I tell all the people I know that have young kids. I'm like, don't worry. They're like, this parent said this. I'm like, you'll never see them again.
Yeah,
you'll literally never see them again. All right, look, we got a break. If you got something, Joe, you can say it on the other side of this break. We'll be back in just a moment.
good, but there was a little bit of interest in the first half there. But they lose, they're out, and it's over. Spain advances. They got a 1-0 win over Portugal. Today, Argentina, Egypt, noon, Colombia, Switzerland at 4 p.m. Brad Stevens spoke at a press conference. Used the word optionality a lot. Said it wasn't about money. There's just a lot going on there. We'll recap that coming up in just a bit. And the Red Sox begin a series in Chicago tonight against the White Sox, who were a playoff team. Peyton Tolley gets the start. First pitch at 7:40. Headlines. They're brought to you by the 99 Restaurants to celebrate America's 250th. Kids eat free now through July 16th with every adult entree purchased. You got to love the nines. I'm Joe Murray.
Coaching the game, or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports.
And now back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
That's Danny Brown. I'm sure when I go to Detroit today, Hardy, I will be. I'll be right in the same area he grew up.
Oh yeah, same neighborhood.
I'll go over to the east side and take my daughter to see ruin porn that used to proliferate the city. There was an Anthony Bourdain in Detroit where all they did was looked at crumpled buildings. There was a guy that walked around and took them through all the crumpled buildings.
Yeah, go through the Cass corridor and.
Well, the old whatever that plant, the old not Grand River plant. Forget it. There was an old auto plant that was closed in rubble, and then that big train station was rubble. And then people used to play hockey in there. They used to flood it, and then when it would freeze over, and they would play hockey. But they just redid it. They redid that,
and they stopped playing
ago.
hockey when they found the frozen body in there.
Yeah, there was a frozen body in there. But you have to imagine that would happen in any city.
Sure.
If you have an abandoned building of that size, there's going to be a dead body in there occasionally. Maybe it was someone that fell when they were playing hockey. But nonetheless, that's the big trip. I get to go to Detroit today.
When do you fly out?
This evening, and then I've been upgraded to first class because of my diamond medallion status.
I understand.
So my daughter and I, we're really going to live it up there. There's a lot to it on that hour and a half to Detroit.
I can only hope you two are seated together because
I will. Listen. I'll get kicked off if
behave yourself.
If I do not, we are seated together. I have to make sure that the airline knows better now. They know better than to cross me.
They learned their lesson.
They learned their lesson. They said, "Hey, look, man, I wasn't arrested. There was no cops. No cops involved."
My daughter landed about 2 hours ago, and she is cut from the same cloth because she was able to sleep on her overnight flight. Do you know why? Because Daddy gave her one Advil PM. I said, that's all you need. One Advil PM, knock you right out. And she checked in this morning. She said she slept for 4 hours on that flight, and she never sleeps on planes. I'm like, yep, just like your old man. That's all you need.
At least you wait until she was 18 to start giving her the hard stuff.
Yeah, and she's 19 now, so she's plenty old enough, and she does not have the same issues that some people have, where an Advil PM wouldn't even scratch the surface of what it has to penetrate to get through to your nervous system.
Joe, if you took an Advil PM, would you be able to tell that you took an Advil PM? Yeah.
No, I need to take 2 or 3 of everything. Yeah, I take ibuprofen every once in a while, and I'll take 3 of those bad boys, and boom.
I take 3 Advil just as like a preventative measure. Like before I go play golf, if I'm walking 18, I'm like 3 Advil.
But what if you had a rash and they gave you Benadryl, and then you had to take Benadryl before you played golf? Would you pass out on the course?
I wouldn't take Benadryl.
Because Benadryl is essentially the active ingredient in the Advil PM that makes you sleepy.
Well, I wouldn't take that. I'd fall asleep right on the golf course.
Yeah. I mean, because Lord knows. And then, LBF down the hall, she's got this whole magnesium situation happening that just knocks her right out.
I used to take NyQuil PM, and that stuff will literally, it's like, might as well just shoot you up with something.
Well, that's the old Dennis Leary thing. That my teeth are green, Merry effing Christmas. Like, yes, he talks about like chugging NyQuil.
Oh, it knocks you out, dude.
I told you that Lenny Clark, I was so pissed pissed off that I heard about this way too late. Lenny told me when, and I'm not telling tales out of school, he told this on the air, that when they used to stay up doing a bunch of blow, the way to get to sleep was they would mix like whiskey and NyQuil, because the NyQuil would also act as a decongestant. So as you know, you're all gacked out of your mind and you've put all that poison up your nose, you need something to alleviate the congestion, but also help put you to sleep. I'm like, oh, that would have been a great idea. I never thought of that.
If he was like the NyQuil helped him knock me out, I would have been like, oh no. But what you just said makes sense. Is that they're mixing the NyQuil because, first of all, like any over-the-counter speed that you take, I would imagine after you've been doing coke for several hours is going to have no real effect on your sleep.
Over-the-counter sedative.
No. I'm saying speed because like you didn't want to take something that would make him. What I'm saying is that you wouldn't want to take an antihistamine that was for the daytime.
Yes.
But I was going to say like I don't think that would be much of a factor. But also the NyQuil, I think that the NyQuil is just something that won't keep you up for sure. But you mix that with like a big jug of whiskey. I think the whiskey's doing most of the work there.
Yeah.
There's no question
That's
about
a mind
that.
over matter thing. I feel like they might think this is what's helping them go to sleep. I know that you could tell me, hey, Joe, there's actual chemicals that will do that. I think those guys, all those comedians, I used to work for them, they're not right, man. They've done a lot of long nights.
Sure.
You mean the comedians are tortured souls?
Yes.
I find that hard to believe.
And they can't function.
Name one. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like they can't
Name
function.
one that's not.
If you're like, hey, man, go down the street and take a right and ask for they can't do things on their own.
I think Jeff Dunham is pretty well adjusted and funny.
Well, but Buddy talks. He has to talk through a puppet to express himself. Really,
to express his racism.
Yeah, exactly. It's his. He's a multi-personality. But yes, between you and the Advil PM and LBF and her magnesium, woo-wee.
I know, a bunch of druggies around here.
I can't believe they sell Advil PM over the counter.
Well, you can't get like 500 of them. You get like 20 or 40. They limit it.
Oh, I bet you if you could go back as many times in the day as you wanted and buy as much Advil PM
no,
as you
get
want.
on a list.
They don't lock it up like they do the Sudafed. You can't make meth out of it.
Or the razors.
Right, exactly, because you can kill yourself with those. See, the razor is more of a problem than the Advil PM. Just, again, if anything was able to be abused, at the least it would be locked up or behind the counter. At least. Now, they do check your ID for Advil PM now, or when you go to the self-checkout, they go like, someone has to come by, which you're like, oh, my God. But no, I don't believe there's any restrictions. I think that you could buy as much Advil. You could buy the store out of Advil PM and no one would blink an eye.
Works for me, works for my daughter.
I think Joe's right. I think that's a psychosomatic thing.
No, he was saying that was for the comedians who were up there doing
every time, if I have my stomach hurts after eating, sometimes I have to smoke a joint to feel better. Is it the joint that makes me feel better?
Marijuana?
Yeah.
Yeah, marijuana cigarettes.
But like
you do marijuana, you do pot?
Is the marijuana what makes my belly feel better?
Probably.
You really think so?
Yeah, they give it to people to make them feel better.
All right, then. Well, I just thought it was mind over matter.
That's the whole medical marijuana thing, is that it can help with pain and it's not a narcotic. Yeah, you ask me. I know what's going on.
You're a weed guy.
No, I can't.
I know. Actually, I know you're not a weed guy.
No, I wish I was. I really wish I was. Because I don't have a problem with it. Like, unless you're just smoking it all the time and it's like just making you completely unmotivated. But no, I wish I liked weed.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've at least like tried.
Oh my God, have I tried? Oh yeah, I tried a lot. I tried.
You've done like the chocolates, right? I think you said you tried once.
I woke up one night when I'd been drinking. We had all these chocolates, and they were locked up, and I took the chocolates and I ate like half a bar, and it doesn't do anything for a while, and I went to sleep, and I woke up like 3 hours later. And I was not from it being morning, but just I woke up and I was like, oh, dear Lord. Oh, I am really high. And
I woke up stoned.
I woke up like real stoned and not enjoying myself. It's funny. I know people that have had heroin problems that couldn't handle weed because it made them paranoid. Like weed is a weird drug that like even people that are super into like heavy drugs will shy away from weed because it makes them paranoid. Maybe something that makes you want to get out of your head, like the whatever is in your brain that makes you want to take a vacation from your brain, whatever that is, makes you susceptible to the bad effects of weed. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think if you can handle acid, you have to have a certain kind of personality. You have to have like a certain ingrained calmness to you. Because if I have to believe if you're prone at all to anxiety and you take acid, you're going to flip out. And it's going to be certainly there's a better chance than not that you're going to have a very bad experience. So that's like what it is for weed. I'm too anxious. I get anxious with all
I
that
wish
stuff.
I'd liked it too. And believe me, like you, Fred, I tried. Oh, did I try?
And they're like, "This is mellows you out, man. This is a couch buzz. This is indica. This doesn't freak you out." Oh no, it freaks me out plenty. I don't like it.
What it is when you don't smoke and you smoke for the first time in a long time, you get so high that the paranoia, the cotton mouth that you talk about, right? All that stuff, it's real. And you want to snap out of it, like you just said. It's the thing. But when you smoke every day and it just becomes a cup of coffee.
Of course, yeah.
And that's when it's, man, the mellow stuff.
I know people that you can't even tell they're high. They smoke it, like, they'll take
just
it
maintenance
off a pen, like maintenance style. Yeah, which is just like to mellow out. But the thing is that also I'm of the personality where I would, take a couple hits off a bowl, sit down for 5 minutes and go, it's not doing anything. And then do it again and then go, it's not doing anything. And the next thing you know, when it all kicks in, I'm way too high.
Yeah.
And, and I'm concerned about I'm too aware of my heartbeat, which happened.
The dabs, if you're familiar with the wax.
I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
They use literally a torch.
Yes.
I've done it once or twice. You can't move for the day. You're literally melted because you're smoking the wax of the THC. So yeah, I remember one time I don't even think I talked to my friend for 4 hours because we were both just melted.
Anything that requires a blowtorch, I'm calling into how good it is for you, how good an experience it is for you. A blowtorch is a crack sitch. It's like a blowtorch. Anything that requires that consistent a flame, I'd be a little concerned of. A needle or a blowtorch. Those are two things I'd shy away from.
A gateway apparatus.
Yes. And I'm being informed by everybody that, yes, THC is really good for the stomach.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was mind over matter. But
I don't think it's BS that they gave old people that were in chronic pain weed. Like, I don't think that they were just doing that as like a wink, wink. I mean, I believe that it is beneficial to people. If it didn't make you paranoid. And it's better than giving you a bunch of like morphine,
If I didn't have other issues to contend with, now would be the time to like, all right, you can really like dial in what works for you and try different things, and you can get the stuff that's, regulated. Because the last time I really, really tried it, I mean, a long time ago, but I think it was when some of the like more scientifically produced stuff was coming out, like early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And I smoked with this guy who's after a Seven Dust show in Las Vegas. And he's like, try this, you really like it. I'm like, well, I'll try it again. I've tried it a bunch. It didn't really work. And whatever I smoked, I went and I got in my car and I'm like, well, I can't drive home. I can tell already, because it kicked in right away. And I sat in my car and I just looked out through the windshield of my car and I watched as the stars were just going out one by one. I mean, paranoid to the point where I thought the universe was ending out of the stuff that I had smoked. And it's like, oh, he just gave you, something laced with something. I'm like, no, this was one of those dudes that would just smoke all the time. This is just what he smoked.
Like with the Willie Nelson thing.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't work for me. I got way too scared, way too paranoid, way too freaked out over it.
You want to hear a story I've told a million times, but I'll tell it again? So I was playing cards in high school with these guys, and they ran out of money, so they started giving me pre-rolled joints. And I didn't really smoke that much weed. So I gave like the Chaldean fellas. We were
Oh,
playing
yeah,
with them.
yeah.
And so they gave us they were giving me pre-roll joints, and I'm like, whatever. I didn't want to tangle with them, so I took the pre-roll joints.
And they're fine. They're Christians.
It's true. And then but these ones not so with the law. And so I was a little intimidated. So I went and I gave it to my friends that I was playing with. I took one of the joints with me. I went over to my friend's Dave's house. So remember, some of my friends have these joints and I have one. I go to my friend Dave's house. He smokes weed every day. We go and we smoke the weed, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, you pussy. I can see, I'm not hallucinating. My hands are so sweaty, I can see the sweat on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
My heart's going, brrr. I go, wow. I go, I didn't say it to Dave, but I go, I'm going to go home. And I went home, and I called my girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. Phone, other line rings. It's Dave. Dude, what did we just smoke? I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm at Burger King. I go, okay. He goes, I can't leave. He's like, I can't leave. So a couple days go by.
He's still at Burger King.
I see these other guys that I had given the joints to. They had gone to like Lollapalooza or whatever, somewhere at Pine Knob, which is an outdoor venue in Detroit.
Great ones, yeah.
One of my friends, who's now a doctor, had a black eye because he had smoked it, passed out, and hit his head on the fender of a car. And the other one, who's now a cop, everything in his vision went black on one side and red on the other, and he ran into the woods. It was angel dust.
Oh, that's fun.
The Chaldeans had sprinkled the weed with angel dust, and we all had a fun angel dust experience.
I didn't know that you like to get wet, dog.
Exactly.
Well, that's what
Russell Simmons.
That's what happened
naked.
Friday. Smokey, remember? He got bought it off the wrong guy. And
That's
then
right.
He was in a chicken hen. Remember, like, speaking of the chickens.
In the chicken coop.
Yeah, that's right. And he still gets the twitches every once in a while.
Yeah, angel dust is a lot of fun. It's just like, oh, I want to have a panic attack.
Germ. PCP.
It's one of those drugs that I don't understand, like, even how it could. I guess I can understand how acid could be fun, even though it seems like a complete nightmare, because, like, your parts of your brain are opening and you're, like, having fun visuals or whatever. PCP is just. It's just an anxiety attack. Like, I've never heard it described as anything else. Now, people, like, love it, some people, but I don't even know if you can get it anymore. But
I can get you some.
Right.
Joe and I can get you some.
Matt wants to say whatever's being talked about. Matt, go ahead.
Oh, hello. Am I on the air?
You're on the air, Matt. You're very high.
Oh, thanks, Fred. Yeah, I don't know what you guys were talking about. I've been trying to call in like all weekend, the last 5 days. Like 24 hours a day. I listened to you guys for years, and I just finally got the chance to call you. But anyways, I wasn't really listening. Were you talking about weed or?
Yeah, drugs, just drugs in general.
Drugs. Yeah, I like drugs. Drugs are good.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Matt, what's your favorite drug?
Like right now, it's ketamine. Like the thing that Matthew Perry died of.
No, I'm aware of what ketamine is. You love those K-holes. You love it very much.
Elon Musk loves it. Like, it's good for my depression. I have a lot of mental health issues and stuff, and it's helped me out. Like, helped me stay sober.
Well,
off the
listen,
hard drugs.
they give ketamine to people. You can buy it online to administer to yourself as a therapeutic practice.
Yeah, that's the guy that I knew growing up. That was really, had a rich family and did well off. And then I saw them at the bar one day and they were doing ketamine.
I saw a radio host in another market on ketamine in a suit because he always wore suits out. He was like, fancied himself quite a businessman. And I saw him on ketamine and we were poking his face and like throwing him around. Just like, oh. Not good.
Between that and the blowtorching of the wax,
the dabs, yes.
Yeah,
the dabs.
like I don't want to be completely incapacitated.
Do you think though now, like today, that you would be comfortable smoking weed? Like you, Hardy.
Oh, well, that's why I say, like, if it weren't for, all of my other issues.
I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
do you think
this would be the time to, like, experiment. I could find something.
Right, but do you think with your issues that would preclude you from smoking weed?
Oh, you want me to get California sober?
I'm just asking in your personal opinion. Do you think that would trigger you to, like, go off and do like worse stuff that could actually damage you?
I do not, but 1% of me does, and that 1% is enough for me to not try it.
I would think it might get in the way of your priorities. Maybe
well, that's the
1%,
danger.
you know
That's what I
mean?
tell my kids. I'm like, that's the thing is that like you guys both like things and like try at these things. My concern is that like if you smoke a lot of weed, it's like perfectly acceptable in your brain to sit around playing video games for 20 hours in a row because it's fun, and it's not necessarily that fun if you're not smoking weed. It's the same thing with quitting drinking. Like a big thing with quitting drinking is like, now what am I going to do? Because going to a bar for 6 hours, the activity is drinking.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out ways to fill that time, which is not that difficult, but that's an easy thing to figure out.
That's one of the things that stops you from doing it. Oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, but especially it's in your face.
But especially like when you're, that's not so bad, actually, to be honest with you. Like, no, the proximity to alcohol is not bad. I think Hardy would agree.
No.
But the thing is that, and this all goes away quickly. This goes away quickly. But it's like, now I have, like, normally, and you realize how good it is that you don't have this anymore. But like, it's vacation, it's noon, I'm going to go to a bar and like spend the day at the bar. Well, that seemed fun at the time, but there are actually things that are like way more fun that like won't ruin the next day that you can actually do. And that is it. Well, we save the clips for another day. All right. When we come back, our friend from Philadelphia, John Marks, will talk about Philadelphia and how they're feeling after the big Jaylen Brown trade. We'll have that for you in a moment.
decisions with every piece of information that we have. Ultimately, this is the decision we came to. Obviously, in many circles, that's not popular.
Big relationship with Philadelphia players or organizations. He is host of Middays with Marks at 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia. John, thank you for joining us, sir.
What's up, guys?
Well, you got a very good microphone. Listen to that. It's like you're in the room. All right. What did Philadelphia think when you pulled off this coup?
Shocked. I think everybody was shocked, right? Jaylen Brown averaged almost 29 points a game last year, and the 76ers were trying to get rid of Paul George, and there was talk of them potentially giving up a first-round draft pick just to get rid of Paul George. So you trade Paul George and 2 first-round draft picks in 2 seconds, and you get a guy that averaged 29 points last year and fits perfectly into the lineup. He's a small forward. He plays defense. He can shoot. I know Tatum was out most of last season, and the Celtics really didn't miss a beat during the regular season. I've been listening to you guys. I'm still trying to figure out exactly why he doesn't have value around the league. He doesn't have value around the league, and I can't believe the Celtics actually made the trade. I would have held on to him and waited for the trade deadline or traded him to anybody but the Sixers. But Brad Stevens elected to do it, and I'm still scratching my head.
What were your thoughts on Paul George specifically when, up until the moment this trade happened? I'm guessing that you and everyone else thought Paul George was going to play in Philadelphia again next year. So just what were your expectations for him there so we have an idea of what we should be expecting here?
Yeah, I mean, he missed 25 games last year because of the drug suspension. I heard you guys talking about it earlier. It was not PEDs, it was drugs. But he's probably not healthy at the end of the year if he doesn't miss those 25 games because Paul George can shoot the three. He's a good defender. He's still a good player. He's still an above-average player. Is he worth the max contract? Probably not, but he's still a good player. So if I'm a Celtic fan, he may not be Jaylen Brown, but I think on a good team and how they're building rosters in the NBA, they don't want all the max players. They want good players. And although Paul George is a max player, I think he fits well into the team, but he is 36 years old and he is an injury waiting to happen. So still a good player, but can you count on him for 60, 70 games? I don't know.
Okay, so is the idea now in Philadelphia kind of just to put Embiid on cruise control during the regular season and really kind of limit his play during the regular season, and you feel like in Philadelphia feels like they can win with Edgecombe and Brown and Maxey and just save Embiid basically for the playoffs? Is that
I think I think Embiid, he can't play. How many games is he going to play even without Jaylen Brown? Maybe 50 if you're lucky, maybe 60. The interesting thing here is that Embiid has not reacted to the Jaylen Brown trade via social media. He had no reaction. Jaylen Brown, and I finally watched one of his live streams, in 45 minutes didn't mention Joel Embiid's name once. So what's that about? Is after the playoff series last year, Brown called him a flopper. Maybe Embiid didn't like that, but Joel Embiid's not reacted. Jaylen Brown's talked to Maxey, he's talked to Edgecombe. He had him on that live stream that he does, and he hasn't mentioned Joel Embiid's name. So just keep this in mind. Embiid may not be with the 76ers this year. I don't know if you can trade the contract. I think the Sixers are waiting to see what happens with LeBron and the small chance that he does come to Philadelphia, and then they kind of see what they do after that. But I think ideally now you don't have to rely on Embiid as much if he's with the team in 2026 because, like you said, he's just even if you sat him every other game and he played half the season, the reality is once you get to the playoffs, he can't stay healthy anyway. So you can try to manage him all you want. You can sit him out half the amount of time. But once you get to the playoffs, he can't make it through a series anyway.
Is there anyone on the 76ers that has a highly successful stream like Jaylen Brown?
Man, I'll tell you, it was something too, Fred. I know you guys, and in Boston, you guys react to a lot of things that he said. And no, thankfully, Embiid pretty much stays off of social media except for an occasional tweet about soccer. And VJ Edgecombe and Maxey, they just play basketball. They're not really worried about their streaming or their social media career. So Jaylen Brown, he'll have a monopoly on the Philadelphia Streaming Society. It'll be good.
I see getting a job where they pay you in media. I just don't understand. I know why he does it. It's because he gets immediate positive feedback, and that's like that dopamine rush. But he could be changing the world with his words, and no one would ever know because it's just pull quotes of anything that he says that's mildly controversial. And Hardy and I are of the mind he certainly hasn't said anything that would, that should hurt his value in the NBA.
Yeah, is anyone in Philadelphia saying like, "Oh, this guy's a problem because of what he says off the court," and it's not a good fit for him here? Like, has anyone raised concerns about that?
Give us about 40 games, Hardy, and I think we may be saying that.
Yeah. You will for sure. You guys are worse than us, especially the Celtics fans, which are kind of pussies. So, like, you guys are gonna be you guys don't even like the 76ers.
I mean, honestly, the first thing you think of, and you guys know this as doing this for a living, he's going to give us a lot of content to talk about because he was a Celtic for 10 years. So I think at the end of 10 years, fans, even the organization, get tired of it, right? We're not tired of it yet, so we'll see how long it goes. But I watched the stream. I've seen other things before. He's well-spoken. He's thoughtful in most of the things he says. But I just don't think there's anything to gain by coming out and putting a bullseye on yourself by talking about stuff. And I don't like the Stephen A. Smith back and forth. Fred, I've heard you say it's like professional wrestling. It really is. And I don't think that's good for any team that's trying to win a championship. Although, Jaylen Brown was the Finals MVP 2 years, so what do I know?
Well, everything's wrestling now. It's just everyone's playing some kind of hero or heel. It's really annoying. Everyone talks like they're doing a promo in wrestling. And even Stephen A. Smith, who's wildly talented, but when he's doing the stuff about Jaylen Brown, he's changing his voice and, he's doing that whole thing like, if you want to battle me anytime, and you're like, okay, dude, like, I get it. And I understand wanting to express yourself, and I understand wanting to talk about issues. You can't win because if you're given a forum and you're given, that kind of popularity, they killed Tiger Woods, they killed Michael Jordan for not talking about anything. And then, if you talk about it, people get pissed off, and you got to just kind of take that getting pissed off. What I don't understand is just psychologically doing it like on just a stream where you're just talking off the top of your head for 2 hours. I understand wanting to get your thoughts and ideas across and getting them out to people. That forum is what I don't get. And I think it's misguided. I think that if you found a guy, you're a broadcaster. I think that if you found a guy, not me, but if you found a guy that you trusted and liked and they said, hey, sit down for an hour, they can kind of, and they know what you're all about and they know like what you want to say, they can kind of take you in and out of that stuff and kind of keep you on point. And that's not a bad thing. That's not being censored. That's having a conversation with someone who knows what they're doing. That's all. That's why I don't get the live stream thing. That's it.
Well,
not what he's saying, the live stream.
He had 27,000 live viewers on the stream that he did. I guess it was Thursday or Friday. And he's just talking, he says the word chat, like, all right, chat. Like, I don't know how many times, 100 times. So it's not really entertaining. He's just talking. But no, like, yeah, he could definitely use a professional broadcaster. It's not even a podcast. It's just him blurting out words the entire time.
Yeah, I got enough problems with podcasts. And now with the live stream, it's some psychological thing I don't understand.
John, all right. John, just real quickly, what about the picks? Are you guys all upset about losing the picks? Brad Stevens mentioned that yesterday. We got all this draft capital back, which nobody cares about. But is it a concern for Philadelphia?
No, there's no concern at all. This is one of the best trades ever for the 76ers. Yeah. So, guys, they went from we were doing like a death march to when's Joel Embiid's contract over? When can we trade him so we can start over? To adding a top 15 player in the NBA that actually fits perfectly with the roster and your younger guards. And now you're like, okay, maybe you keep Embiid because look at your starting four. So, no, there's no concern at all. 2 first-round draft picks and 2 second-round picks and a guy you didn't want in Paul George. I'm still shocked that they were able to get this done. Now, is it going to work? Oh, we'll see, but it makes the 76ers significantly more interesting than a week ago. Significantly more interesting.
Well, it makes them better. That's the thing that Stevens couldn't answer yesterday. Are the Celtics better? Well, we'll see. Are the Sixers better? Yes.
Yes, the Sixers are better. All right. Well, John, I have an assignment if you can take it. Please let us know if you figure out why no other team wanted Jaylen Brown. If you can figure that out, that's what I would like to know. That's the most fascinating thing out of all of this. Steven said as much yesterday. He lost sleep about trading Brown to Philadelphia. He didn't want to trade Brown to Philadelphia. And that to me says that no other team really wanted him Because if a crap contract for an old player and a couple throwaway picks, which, if you say that to some writers, they'll go, the picks are great. Well, fine. A couple picks in a throwaway, in a contract they wanted to dump anyway for an old player was enough for Jaylen Brown. That tells me that no one else wanted him, and that's fascinating to me. That really is actually fascinating to me. All right, John. Well, do your best to find that information. Hit the pavement, all right?
I'll report back to you guys. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
John, you're the man. John, middays with Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic in Philadelphia. Great guy, listens to the show. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Well, everybody keeps talking about that Brad Stevens press conference with Bill Chisholm yesterday, and the word optionality came up many of times, and that was really the reason for trading Jaylen Brown, and Fred's still trying to...
puppetry.
You know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Oh, I thought you were doing better than that.
No. I make
Twice
a month.
That. Twice that. Tell me you make twice that.
$500,000 a month.
Nice.
I'm doing local radio, baby.
Wow.
$500,000 a month. I'm doing local radio. I'm on the #1 show.
Yeah.
How much
you
you
are.
making? You're new. What are you making? $300,000 a month?
No. I'm making like like $250,000 a month.
You'll get there, kid.
Is Hardy really new?
I'm just saying it.
No, I know, but are you really new?
It might.
Yeah, like I think you've been. Would you say you were the voice of?
I'm an
Hardy
icon. I understand.
I'm aware.
Well, they were.
I'm aware.
They were ribbing me on my 20.
You just got that, friend.
Yeah, I did. Just kidding. Sometimes they go over my. You are an icon.
Thank you.
Everyone's stealing your story. They were busting my balls. Like we had this idea to bust my balls about my 20th anniversary, like with essentially this company, CBS Radio, whatever. But during that whole thing. Hardy and John had been here longer than I have. Hardy was at BCN before I ever got to BCN. I think the only reason I got to BCN is because Howard Stern moved to satellite. I think that was the reason that all those jobs opened up. And they put us in afternoons knowing that we would go to mornings, is what I think happened.
Yeah.
But no, Hardy's been here longer than I have.
And the Fuppets are now mornings. Again, I catch up on this stuff. So it used to be the Felger and Maz show.
Yeah. It used to be the Fuppets. Now it's the Thuppets.
It's the Thuppets.
Right.
Now. Okay. I've seen a few of them. I see Nick.
Yeah.
And I've seen the Wallach one. I don't think I've seen yours. I've seen the Fred one.
You might just think Hardy's his.
They're all in each video.
Okay.
Actually, Nick wasn't included in one of the videos.
Nick has to be. We're due for one this month, so there will be another one.
Yeah.
We got to figure out what we're going to do. Maybe we'll make a Joe puppet.
Ooh.
Now they're not cheap.
I'll just keep them right in just keep it in the seat. Sometimes when I yell the blank chair, it goes to it, the camera.
I rarely respond online anymore unless it's like a positive thing. I feel like I'll respond to something online, but I felt like I had to step in for Hardy. They're like, oh, so now you're stealing the Fuppets. And it's like, oh, no. No, this has all been Hardy. Hardy came up with the Fuppets. And then he said to me, he goes, hey, I think I could do it for this show. Do you want to go in on me on some puppets? And I said, yeah. And that was my only involvement. I had some say in the Wallach puppet. But other than that, it's all Hardy's thing. It was all Hardy's. What do you think? Felger was telling him, "Hey, make a puppet show out of this."
No,
I mean, no.
To their credit, because that was pretty early on, and no joking aside, those were some lean years. The first few years of the Sports Hub for me personally.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, I had this idea and I wanted to do it, but I'm like, I can't pay for it, and the station won't pay for it. And I went to Felger and Maz with it, and I'm like, I kind of got this weird idea, but, these things are expensive and you want to buy them. They're like, sure, yeah, let's do it.
Would you say that your job was like 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Before this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you were here all day.
If I wasn't here all day, I was doing like more stuff for the other shows when I, would go home.
And the whole narrative that whole time was that Hardy was the most talented guy that wasn't getting the opportunity. That was what everyone in the industry was saying.
Yeah, people wanted to hire Hardy elsewhere.
Uh-huh. And he would go there and they'd be so unimpressive he wouldn't take the job, and which is saying something because he needs money. But it was he made the right decision. He did make the right decision. So when the openings were happening here and everything was going on, I didn't ask anyone else to do it. I only asked Hardy. And that's absolutely true. You can go ask everyone behind the scenes.
Well, I think everybody behind the scenes probably was like Hardy's going to get the gig.
Well, there was guys saying they wouldn't take it, like Jim Murray, and I'm like, I never even asked you. And then he called me, and he was like, He's like, dude, I didn't mean anything by it. And I'm like, are you? I'm like, dude, I don't. Please.
No, but in this business, though, people take things. You could be joking and.
Oh no!
Come on, it's happened to all of us. Come on, now.
Look, I can be very sensitive, but not like with stuff like that. Which no one would know. It's my own brain. But no, I didn't think anything of that. I thought it was funny. I thought the whole thing was funny. I thought the response to it was funny. Is like, well, no one asked you. And I thought him saying it was funny. I thought it was all funny. I like Jim a lot. I think Jim's incredibly talented. I love that Saturday show. I like him on Felger and Madsen. I think that if Gasper and Murray wanted to be a show anywhere, that they could get a job anywhere. Yes. It's just the Sports Hub's just been such a solid block of shows.
And allow me to deflect because I'm uncomfortable with the praise. Thank you. Very nice of you, both of you. But Fred, you and I are both huge fans of the Joe Show. We both listen a lot. And maybe if you had to pick out one iconic segment of the Joe Show, what would you say it is, Joe?
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
But you guys have one that you know of?
Yeah.
What I listen to your show all the time.
Yeah.
You're the show that I listen the most to on this station.
I said I wake up to you and you listen to me in the shower.
And I listen to you in the shower. I listen to you in the car.
I listen to you driving around. I love it.
You're my friend in the car.
My wife and my kids like listening to your show.
Oh.
Don't overthink it. What's the bit that you do? It's like a bit that you do.
In or out?
Yes, it's in or out. We're going to do in or out with Joe.
Yes. In or out.
Coming up in just a matter of moments.
You're
Times that optionality was gained by trading Jaylen Brown, and that two players at 70% of the cap is not sustainable. Bill Chisholm went on to say that the second apron's a real thing, and it's not about money at all. World Cup action, Team USA fell to Belgium 4-1. Spain advanced with a 1-0 win over Portugal. Argentina, Egypt. That match begins at noon today. Colombia, Switzerland, the other one at 4 p.m. And the Red Sox, they continue their 9-game road trip. They're in Chicago tonight against the White Sox. Peyton Tolley will get the start. First pitch is at 7:40. Headlines, they are brought to you by Kesha's Law. Kesha's, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit keshaslaw.com. I'm Joe Murray.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub. Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports
Ooh, where's that game? Do you know
it's
that
at BC High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Nice field.
It's a nice field. It's a nice school. I don't have any desire to go to Dorchester.
Get
ever
those
again anymore.
memories going over there?
It's not even that so much. It's the hardest place in the world to go. It's just hard to get to for me. There's no good way. 93 is terrible. Taking the surface streets is terrible.
I'd say Rossie and Hyde Park's harder to get to.
Yeah, but I don't have to ever go to
That's
Rosedale
true.
or Hyde Park.
And from Newton, it's fairly easy.
I was at one of your old haunts a week ago yesterday, Joe, over at George Wright.
How nice. Scott over there?
Scott had gone for the day, but came back because he wanted to show us the new tee box on 4.
Ooh. I heard they have a phenomenal grill there now.
Oh, the grill in the outdoor patio is fantastic, but that's really more for Joe on the go.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sports Hub Golf Club soon will be featuring George Wright once again. And if this won't upset you too much, we're going to talk about the actual golf course.
Cool.
Well, he's actually going to talk to the tee box at 4. He's actually going to sit down there and he's going to play with the grass and just put it into a microphone.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. If you're familiar with the arson movie that Robert De Niro did, what's that, Backdraft?
Yeah.
When he goes in there and he starts talking to the burned out building, and he starts talking to the fire that has since been put out. Tell me how you started. Tell me where you came from. And he's actually having a vocal conversation with the fire.
Tom Cruise and not Edward James Olmos, the way you just did that?
No, it was
Tell
Robert
me about
De
the
Niro.
fire. Was it burning?
The 16th hole at George Wright, though, oh, that's a beauty.
So,
It's got the little creek at the bottom of it. We used to call it Suicide Hill.
16?
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
no creek
How
at
many
the bottom
people
of
commit
16.
suicide there? Like a weird amount?
Well, I know some have died.
You're talking about
Suicide Hill?
Which Suicide Hill? Is that 16?
12.
12?
That's 12.
It's called Suicide Hill because people die on it?
No, we sledded on it. It was a sledding thing.
I was going to
That
say.
is
Down
12?
12, and you would go down
That's
into
right.
the pond into the right.
I thought it was like
I'm
the
thinking
Golden
the
Gate
16 is
Bridge.
the par 3. Par 4, yeah.
Did you guys have those Tiger Woods courses in Boston? Was there one, like, when Tiger Woods, I'm sure it's still around, but he had that big charity that built urban golf courses? There was one in, like, a really bad area of Atlanta, but it was, like, immaculate.
Oh,
I think it was only 9 holes because, like, it's hard to get 18 holes worth of room.
Right.
But it was in, like South Atlanta. Like, it was in, like, a bad area of Atlanta, but it was, like, we played it all the time. It was this... but it was like this immaculate golf course. Now, the one by our house, you would walk down, there would be literally bums sleeping on it. It was within walking distance of where I lived. And they had malt liquor bottles, and I would defy you to find them anywhere. Anywhere here, anywhere in Atlanta. I never went to a liquor store where these... You ever been to a liquor store in, like, 7 Mile?
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa.
What are these brands?
Yeah, what are these brands? Like Grandma's Tongue or like Devil's Eye malt liquor. And you're like, Jesus. Like, I know Mickey's and Old E, but I'm unfamiliar with these. Like Snake Venom. And you're like,
I know from Schlitz, but I don't know from...
Yeah, it was a whole... We were like, what is this liquor? It's like, are they actively trying to poison people? All right, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Hardy and I are, Joe knows, we're big fans of the Joe Show. We play clips of the Joe Show all the time. And Joe's most iconic segment, or his iconic regular segment, is In or Out. And we can even take calls, 617-779-0985 if you'd like to give Joe an In or Out.
Yeah, we have a few to get us going here. And if it's okay, we would like to, make this a true Joe Show segment and use the production.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
What is this bet?
Incubus, are you in? Wasn't my idea.
No, but I like the bet. As much as I can't stand the singer of Incubus, and I'm not a huge Incubus fan, obviously, but I do enjoy this bet very much.
Cool.
Now I can hear the Incubus. You hear that?
Are you in?
I don't hear the...
What album is this from?
I don't know.
Can you name an Incubus album?
I should be able to.
I know I should be able to.
What's that
name
Pardon Me album? I feel like I should...
Yeah, that's the one that I'm thinking of. I can think of the cover, but I can't think of... I'll tell you, Reservation Dogs was this great show.
Morning View.
Morning View.
Science.
Yeah.
I don't know. Morning View is what I would know. Morning View is the first album, right? Or the first album that people played stuff off.
Make Yourself. That was a big one. All right. Joe?
Yes, sir.
In or out? I will play the part of Skaz.
Okay.
Fred will play the part of Skaz. And as you said, Fred, if you want to call in and play the part of Skaz, 617-779-0985. These are things that you're just going to be in or out on. They could be pop culture. They could be food-related items, just, ripped from the headlines, things that we need your opinion on.
Yes.
I'm going to start you with this one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, are you in or out on Lyme disease?
I'm out. Street Team Joe has Lyme disease. He's a part of our show.
Oh, you hit too close to the bone.
He has tough days. He has good days and bad days. And I think he had a tick. I'm not really sure what happened.
Well, that's not how you get the Lyme
But
disease.
he has Lyme
Was he on
disease.
Nantucket, where the Lyme disease is running rampant?
No, but...
and Hardy loves that more than anything?
Out on Lyme disease because of Street Team Joe and watching him go through it.
In solidarity with Street Team Joe.
Does anyone remember a show that at the end had a public service for a Lyme disease help group? Does anyone remember the show? If you do, I'll know we'll be friends forever. It's a reality show, but you would have to give me the season. Does anyone remember?
I'm going to say Jersey Shore, but...
well, close, same network. Real World Seattle. The girl got Lyme disease, and she was blaming everything on Lyme disease. And the gay black guy slapped her in an episode, and they kicked him right out of the house. Wow. But at the end, it would go for more information on Lyme disease.
Oh, okay, so they made it okay.
Yeah, at the end. At the end of the episode. You'd be like, I want to know more information.
Joe, in or out? Gravity.
Yeah, I used to do gravity bongs back in the day. We would get a big 3-liter of soda, not the 2-liter. Cut that bad boy right in half. Right in half, put a little tin foil on the top, put it in a big cooler, and then you'd light the thing and then right down. So I love gravity, and I'm in on gravity bongs.
Then I'll ask you this. Pipes or bongs? Or joints? I'll give you a 3-way.
Probably flower joint.
You roll your
Easier,
own?
Yes. Or I buy pre-rolls now.
No, I know that's what kind of queers the deal a little bit is that there's pre-rolls. But how long would it take you to roll a joint?
60 seconds.
Okay. So
not like kids, though. You ever seen kids?
Oh, yeah, but that's a blunt. Crack it.
Oh, I could, yeah. I could probably do that in about a minute.
I like the movie Kids a lot, and I like Larry Clark a lot. Like, I like his photography, his book Kansas, that's really good from the 60s. But I'll sit down and I'll go like, hey, you want to watch Kids to like a girl or something? And then the first scene is a very disturbing underage sex scene almost. That
I've never seen it because I was like so put off by everyone saying like, ooh, that's a disturbing movie.
It's like, well, first of all, they were like around my age when it came out. And second of all, Larry Clark like literally went to like whatever park in Manhattan and just took the skate kids and put them in the movie. So it was like an accurate representation of their lives. And Chloe Savagabagabago, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So we have Lime, Gravity. What's next?
Joe, are you in or out? Lazy Eyes.
Oh, be careful. You know who's in next.
Biggie, I'm in because Biggie Smalls had a lazy eye.
Oh,
he did?
And I'm oh yeah, he's not looking at the camera at all.
You big Cash Patel guy?
Lazy eye.
Does he?
Are you kidding?
He's
He's got one of the worst lazy eyes you'll ever see.
I've never noticed it.
So I can't really
I'm afraid to look into his eyes.
It's hard to be out on a lazy eye.
One wonders if his height and lazy eye is a little compensation going on. Yes?
It's just hard to be out on a lazy eye because are you going to bring it up to somebody? Are you going to say, hey, Liz?
I don't think it's anything you need to bring up.
Got
How
a
about
lazy
this?
eye.
In or out on focusing on one eye to look at when you're looking at someone with a lazy eye?
It's like that.
In on just focusing
It's like
on the one
Wayne's
eye?
World. The guy with, the lowercase J's and the.
Okay.
Or,
a mole? Oh, no, that's Austin Powers. Okay. Mole.
Moly moly. Yes, I'd be in on just the one eye. I've had to do that a couple of times.
Okay.
You know a lot of guys with one eye?
No, but I've seen that before.
You've been on a pirate ship?
No, I just sometimes you gotta. There's a Dunkin' Donuts employee that I see often that I have to focus this way.
Oh yeah, when there's something weird going on, you gotta like make a very clear statement that you're looking.
I'm staring at you in your right eye.
No, I'm
Not
looking
the other eye.
I'm looking at you like I'm seeing you as a human being, my
Yep.
friend. I'm not seeing anything that no sweat off my back. Gabe, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Real quick, I'm 41, and Kids was a movie around 11, 12 that was shown to me to say, hey, okay, you want to do a needle? This is what's going to happen. And, yeah, it shook me real bad. But, all right, this is for Joe. Joe, you know I love you. These are two shows combined, so I had to call in. Taylor Swift's wedding, Adam Sandler officiating the wedding. In or out on him officiating the wedding, Joe?
In. I'm a Swiftie.
Be honest. I know you're a Swifter.
In. I like Taylor Swift.
Kelsey met Sandler one time on Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
Isn't it a bit tacky?
Yes.
Don't you think Swift went a bit tacky?
I mean, they got married at Madison Square Garden. It
I'm
wasn't.
in. She's like the new Elizabeth Taylor who finally just got married for the first time.
And Elizabeth Taylor's marriages went fantastic.
They did.
All 7 of them.
So
To the same guy.
I'm in.
She
and
could tolerate an alcoholic.
I think that she can do whatever she wants. And even if she's selfish or they're selfish about what they've done, I support it because generally with weddings, it's not about the people, it's about everybody else. And I think this time it was about them.
What about the idea that from what you had been a fan of her for, which I imagine is her truth-telling and her emotional lyrics.
Correct.
What do you make of her marrying the likes of Travis Kelce? Did you expect her to be more like with that guy she dated from 1975?
Well, I think that she met guys who were maybe had some intelligence and were smart and had personality, and then met a guy who basically is a bro with no brain. And I think it's easier for her to manipulate him than the others.
Oh. Do you think that that she just fell in love with the podcast?
No, he gave her a friendship bracelet, and that's just what turned her on.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Swifty.
Yeah.
You say that this wedding they did for all the other people because it's been so much has been about them, and they wanted to give back somehow by having this big wedding and all this stuff. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think that if whatever they wanted to do, they could do, and even if it was selfish, because I think a lot of it was selfish.
Yeah, the NDA seems particularly selfish. If you're invited to the wedding of the century, you want to be able to tell everybody about it. But I had to sign this non-disclosure agreement.
But it's their wedding, and they can do whatever they want. I feel that people can do whatever they want.
I actually could see the NDA if you were doing that. In you had 500 because 500 people is not like an insane amount of people. You had 500 for people with circles that large and that many employees. I could see wanting an NDA. I think that's so standard now. I've heard stories of famous people having an NDA on a tablet at a club.
But that's when you're expecting physical relations to take place, not because you went to a party.
Right.
You went to a party. I can't talk about the party that I went to. No, sign this or we'll sue you.
I'll tell you this: if like some outlet has exclusive photos which they were compensated for, and that's why the NDA was signed, then I will be on your side because they were looking to profit. The NDAs were only for their own profit. If it was for an actual privacy and no details ever come out about the wedding, and the guy from Dashboard Confessional was at the wedding,
Chris Caraba.
He was at the wedding. Did you know they were friends?
I did not, but I would assume they are because they were so emotional. Dashboard Confessional, and I'm sure that Taylor was a huge fan.
Can you name a song by Dashboard
Yes,
Confessional?
I'm missing your laugh. I never sleep. Avoiding the spots in this bottle.
But that's Screaming Infidelities.
Yes. I can sing
another
the other
one.
ones, yes.
Yeah, one other song besides Screaming Infidelities.
Please tell me you're just feeling tired, because if it's more than that, I feel that I might break out of touch, out of time.
When that emo wave hit, because I was fans of punk bands that had relationships about like not getting girls and stuff. I found it to be a bridge too far.
My buddy played in an emo pop punk band that went on tour with like the Starting Line and Brand New.
Oh, I think Brand New still tour.
Yeah, they had Jesse had a little incident there.
All right, in or out, Joe?
What was the incident?
Look it up.
So they don't still tour.
They are touring, but I think he got canceled.
For what band?
Brand New. They were very good.
Oh. Not
something you would play.
Not like a Lost Prophets situation.
No.
Not the Brand Nubians.
No, I loved Brand Nubian though growing up.
Slow Down.
They did a song
You Live
"The
in
Wicked"
Foul.
with Ice Cube that was great.
Oh, sexual misconduct.
All right.
That's not canceled. That's legal trouble. All right, go ahead.
Joe, in or out? Grounding. Practice of walking around barefoot.
I'm out. Because I'm not going to practice it. Doesn't mean that guys like Mac Hollins and Dan Lifshatz
Thank you.
don't acknowledge it and seed oils and stuff to that degree.
Molecular structure of your like cells.
Yes.
In or out? In or out, or not believing what they tell you in quotations and using that often.
Okay. Sometimes I speak, you guys understand what Joe's saying. It's like Joe speak, you guys get it. When Lifshatz talks, sometimes I have to read the line sometimes or try to get exactly what he's trying to tell me. So even though you hear it differently, I understand Lifshatz talk. Okay. And that there, I understood.
Because he seems very convinced he knows more than everyone else.
Yes, and he did tip me off. I got to give him credit. He's the one, my source, that told me that they were moving on from Jaylen Brown maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
All right.
Oh, I don't doubt his.
And he called in the night. I think you might have heard it, guys, but he called in the night of the trade. Told you, and I said, "Yep, you're right."
Oh, I don't doubt Dan.
He called in to say, "I told you so."
Well, I told him to call in to say, "Hey, take a victory lap."
I don't doubt Dan Lifshatz's sports acumen. I do question his knowing more about everything than everyone.
Yeah. But he is in the dark web, dude. He is.
Which is the best place to be.
Yeah. Healthy.
Where all the good information is in a good way to go.
They caught it with seed oil.
Yeah, he's now in parts unknown, so I don't know what he's.
Well, it tends to happen to people that
he's focusing
doom
on
scroll for a living.
Focusing on friends, faith, and family.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Joe, in or out? Takeout counter at Pleasant Cafe.
In because it's all I have.
But
the service staff there is.
What's that?
Not kind.
I'm sorry.
Pleasant Cafe is, you want to talk iconic restaurant in Roslindale. It is, if you paid somebody $1 million to design you a retro dining establishment, they could not do as good a job as what the Pleasant Cafe is because they just haven't changed it in many, many decades. But if you order pizza there and the pizza's fantastic and you go in there to pick it up, it's an issue. The servers at Pleasant Cafe will not suffer your foolishness. They will not stand for you pointing to your pizza and saying it's right there You know, I know I'm standing here in a group of people, but mine's right there. My name's on the box.
Yep.
You shut up and you wait until they come to you, and they will get your pizza, and it might cool there for a while, but you shut your mouth and you wait until they're good and ready.
Just think of like Lunch Ladyland, but with a green apron that is full of flour. And they just have cash and receipts in their hands.
Sounds like when I worked at Blimpies, the way I handled the public. People would order so many vegetables, they would ask for a side cup. And I'm like, you're making a salad? Oh, no.
No.
Things are not going good well for you. I would say that to them. Dan, go ahead.
Joe, you're very concerned about the toilet situation. I was wondering, are you in or out on the lily pad in the toilet so you don't get any of that backsplash when your huge dumps hit the water?
Oh.
Wait, what? A lily pad?
Never used a lily. I'm out.
You throw the toilet paper down and it stops the splash from coming back up on your, undercarriage.
Nope.
That is like when I first heard of slatering.
They call it a mermaid kiss.
I'm out. These are all terms I didn't know that was something people do. It's called a lily pad, Dan. What you'll do is you'll take toilet paper, you'll pre-fabricate the toilet with some toilet paper because you're concerned that your dump is going to make water splash back onto your butt.
And if it's a diarrhea situation, you do not want any backsplash at all.
And okay, have you lily padded?
I've never lily padded.
No, I'm asking Dan. Have you lily padded?
Every time. Every dump is emergency, dude.
Okay.
I never know what's going to happen.
But
You're
when
really
it does
rolling the
happen,
dice.
it's known as a mermaid kiss.
Did you make this up? Did you make this stuff up, or did you be honest? Or is this internet thing?
I heard the term one time from a obscure comedian, and I tried laughing for 3 days, and I use it all the time now.
Okay, mermaid kiss.
I did it before I heard the term lily padding, but for the same reason, to keep the splash off you.
But you
when
felt
I heard
seen.
somebody refer to it that.
Yeah, you felt seen when the comedian talked about it. All right,
I felt included, and I fell in love that day.
All right, well, that's all it can take sometimes.
Urban Dictionary, mermaid kiss, when the toilet water splash from your solid turd reaches the appropriate height to spritz.
Okay.
Lily padding.
I almost wrote down last night when I was coming up with my in or out questions, bidets.
Oh, bidet. Never used one?
In or out? Doesn't matter if you haven't used one. You have to. You know the rules of in or out.
I'm in. I've just never used one, but I would use one if I properly knew how to use it.
Yeah, there's really no excuse that we as a society in the United States.
Just remember, that's an exit, okay? I want that. Well, just your area is an exit, and I just sometimes don't know what's going in or around it.
Says you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just. That's what I need to learn how to use it.
I got news for you. The bidet isn't shooting at 100 miles an hour. I mean, it's
not
like
a pressure washer.
Yeah, it's more. Think of it as a drinking fountain.
Might need one.
Yes, drinking
It's
fountain.
like a
drinking fountain. Okay.
Yeah.
Level of pressure.
All right.
It's almost like a mermaid kiss.
Well, it is a mermaid kiss, but a clean mermaid kiss.
That was great references by that guy.
Well, they're not so much references as new terminology that we've learned. All right. Very good. Thank you. That was enjoyable. We'll be back in just a moment. Kaboom! Did we all just take acid? That's unbelievable.
Toucher and Hart. What's he talking about?
Like you, Fred, I'm not worried.
The Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
And it was as simple as that. The great ideas that are like having an email segment. The Toucher and Hardy email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. It's 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. All right, Joe, what is this that has just come across your desk?
I just saw this this from Adam Schefter. He went to Broncos camp, and I guess Seth Wickersham mentioned the story. He has a lot of ties to the Patriots, not to mansplain here. But when Bill Belichick and the Patriots divorced in 2024, Sean Payton considered presenting Broncos owner a proposal to hire Belichick as the head coach until he reached 15 wins, which was enough to break Don Schuler's career wins record. Then Belichick would step down, and then he would take over the team after the 15 wins. It was too complicated, and it didn't work out. But this is from Seth Wickersham today.
And how much you want to bet that Belichick would have taken it and been like a puppet head coach just so he could, back into a record that he doesn't deserve?
Well, in a way, he'd have Sean Payton as the offensive coordinator.
In a way, you would figure that if Sean Payton was willing to do that, he would tell Belichick, all right, you're head coach in name only.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to lean on you a lot for your defensive ideas, but I don't want you anywhere near the offense. Or, the ultimate decisions come down to me, but we can certainly call you the head coach, and you can maybe Peyton did that almost to make Belichick feel bad. The only way you're going to get this is through me.
Wow. Or the only way you'll get a job is through me.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he went hand in hand to the Jets that he hates so much. And he's so many feelings. He still talks about it. Mm-hmm. He hates him. He'll go on the podcast. He hates him. You didn't hate him so much when you went to Woody Johnson and asked him if you could get a job. That's how much he lowered himself. But then again, now he's coaching at a big shot ACC school, which, by the way, have you heard about how the recruiting's going them? I'm too into this, but how the recruiting's going them for the 2027 class? Not good. Not good.
Well, Belichick, I believe, supported Sean Payton when he got suspended for a year for the, what was that, the Bounty Gate?
Yeah.
So maybe that was him trying to show a solid after that. Right. So,
by the way, I'm sure Joe knows, but I just looked it up because you mentioned Belichick and his big football program there. Do you know what the win total is for North Carolina this season, Fred?
Oh.
What the line is?
4.5?
I haven't looked, but I was going to say 5.5.
4.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I read something about how, because it was this story about college football programs that are winning and losing for the next recruiting class. It was in The Athletic. And so I was just curious because Michigan State has 7,000 head coaches a year. And it was North Carolina, and they're like, the strength of North Carolina's recruiting class was simply numbers. That they recruited so many kids, like 41 kids or something. I think it was 41. It might even be more. You got to think of, that's turning over half your roster. Yeah. So they did that, and therefore, the recruiting, they're 12th or 13th in the recruiting ranking for the last, the fresh incoming freshman class. But but next year, all the stories about North Carolina, I guess, they haven't gotten one in-state recruit yet. No, not one in-state signee to North Carolina. Which, if you can't control North Carolina, and the other options are Duke and NC State, and you've hired Bill Belichick, and you can't even get kids from your own state, that's a problem.
If you can't get the North Carolina kids to come to North Carolina in any sport, much less Bill Belichick coaching your football team, then it's a lost experiment. A lot of emails in about the mermaid kiss and the lily padding. Sean says, I have a buddy who's in the Coast Guard. He referred to putting the TP in the toilet as an aircraft carrier. Same vein as the mermaid kiss is the witch's kiss, which is when the piece touches the toilet bowl.
Wait, what? Is when the what touches the toilet bowl?
Which is when your piece touches the toilet bowl.
Well, then,
that's the witch's kiss.
Well, that should be called God's gift. I don't know how often that happens to you, but there's no chance that's happening to me.
Chris says he's never heard the mermaid's kiss. He always heard it referred to as the kiss of Poseidon.
Oh. That might be funnier than the mermaid's kiss. The kiss of Poseidon.
That's why I started laughing until that last thing.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
That's better.
How to go in the bathroom. Kiss of Poseidon. Not great.
This is supposed to protect you from splashing. But now that I'm thinking about it, could it be maybe from, leaving stains on the toilet bowl as well?
No, it's simple physics. It's like increasing the strength of or displacing the top layer of the water, right?
I will get that's the primary reason, but added benefit. Think of it like Rogaine. Wasn't that supposed to be for like a heart medication? You found out it grew hair. Yeah. So that's
but it kills two birds. Less messy both ways.
Yeah.
When John's not here, you're using that kind of language.
Who, me?
Two birds. Kill two birds.
Dave emailed in. This is a holdover from the huge argument we had yesterday about Fred not wanting to stop for landscapers when they are stopping traffic so that the
which
trailers
people
come
got
back out.
legitimately mad at me about.
Well, this is from a landscaper, Fred. I feel like I have to weigh in on this as being a longtime member of the landscaping community. There are definitely times that I have to stop traffic to back a trailer onto a busy street or to help a customer out of their driveway because my truck is obstructing their view. It's all about the way you do it. Having people stop their cars for you should be an ask, not a demand. The proper way to do it is to look at the driver, scrunch your face into a question mark, then clasp your hands together like you're begging for forgiveness. Make the whole transaction quick, then thank the drivers profusely. As landscapers, we're always having to park in weird places and do weird traffic stuff. With half of our lights not working, we should be considerate whenever possible. Team Fred.
I said as part of it that if you come in and I feel there's some you're being humble and humbly asking if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, and a facial expression and a hand gesture can convey that non-verbally. I told you I was fine with it. It's the arrogance of strolling into the road like you own the place. But people got legitimately mad at me, which I suppose was your whole idea all along, Hardy.
Well, it backfired because we have a landscaper who is now Team Fred. So you win. Is that what you want?
No, I just don't want people stopping the traffic.
When I did my other gig yesterday, I had people asking about that story. That and the license. Did the woman pick up her license?
Oh.
I don't know if the woman picked up her license. We were talking about that before the show. She didn't come in while we were on the air. I hope she picked up her license because I controlled when it was here from 6 until 2, basically.
You found a license in a parking lot.
My daughter did. My daughter found a driver's license in the parking lot. And so I went and I Googled the name and I found the father, and she was in her 30s, but the father and her. And I Instagram messaged both of them. And when you're coming from a big shot, verified Instagram account, people immediately take notice.
Influencer.
Yeah. And I said, hey, I think I got your ID. The girl got back to me. I took a picture of it, and I didn't want to go to her house, and I didn't want her coming to my house. So I said, here, I'll have it at the station for you. And I gave it to those guys. I gave her the hotline number. I hope she doesn't abuse it because I know women oftentimes want to get right through on the sports phone lines.
Well, this whole situation was ripe for abuse, and high marks for you and your parenting because after your daughter found it, her first thought was not to keep it for herself as a fake ID.
Yeah, my daughter's 15. I don't, and doesn't look much older, so if older at all. So I would
have tried it.
Well, I actually did say, hey, you could use that as a fake ID jokingly. And she goes, I don't have blue eyes. And I went,
Well, they really look.
Probably nowadays they do.
Come on.
I mean, in Newton, I would imagine they look.
Joe, in or out, fake IDs?
Oh, I've had them.
Yeah, so in. Okay.
Yeah, we found one in a shoe at when I was 19, 21. Actually, I was 20.
Where did you find a shoe?
At the gym, we found one. The guy looked just like me. Like, we found it, and he goes, Joe, this is yours. So much to the point where I used it one time.
Wait, when you said found it, you stole one. The guy had put his ID in his shoe.
That's not true. I technically wasn't the one who stole it, but I was
someone stole it.
Well, that's an interesting. It's an interesting word use of the word found.
I was 20. We were in Hyde Park, and someone found an ID in someone else's shoe, and said, "Hey, Joe, this looks like you."
Someone stole an ID from out of the person's shoe.
I'm not telling you that they stole it. They just found it.
Well,
in
I'm telling you they did, and I think you know that they did.
And it really did look like me, but come to find out when I used it somewhere, someone told me that they knew the person that it was. They said, this is an excellent ID. It was actually the day the Patriots won the Super Bowl in 2002.
How many times did you get to use it before it was taken from you?
I milked that. But again, back in the day in Rozzy, you just walked in.
Nice.
It didn't matter. It only mattered when when it became a scannable thing.
Yeah, that's tough, and I always question that they can still make them, but apparently they're still cooking. They're still getting them out.
You can
there.
get them, but there's this software on it now. Like that new ID has.
Oh yeah.
No, I know they scan it. I mean, believe me, when you go to CVS, they scan it. You know, believe me, they scan it.
Yeah.
When you're getting that Advil PM or the melatonin.
Very, very quickly.
Magnesium.
You're familiar with the pharmacy in Hyde Park that up until I don't know, I was in there 10 years ago or so. Was the last place that could legally prescribe alcohol.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That guy was, and the pharmacist that was referred to as the wizard.
Correct. Yes.
What was the reasoning for? Because for DTs?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
why
like
couldn't
an
you just buy
old
liquor?
school, he could prescribe the alcohol for people who needed it.
Yeah, but you could just buy that at a store.
But if you could get it from
a guy,
a doctor, then maybe it was cheaper.
Oh,
or
it was
maybe...
free. Oh.
But in Hyde Park, it was run by the mayor for so long that the mayor had so many things,
Yeah.
a lot going. He ran the George. Never mind. Ask your buddy about the George rate.
All right, I will.
The mayor had his hands in on everything, man. Love the mayor.
All right. Very good. We will be back, and then we will finish things up, and then I will be gone for 2 days, and then I will be back on Friday. That's how this whole situation's working. Here are the headlines. Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy, and Joe, you wanted to remember something down memory lane.
Yes, I know at some point you spent some time in Atlanta, so you might know a little bit about WCW wrestling. But 30 years ago today was the biggest heel turn in wrestling history, and it involves Hulk Hogan turning heel and starting the NWO.
Hulk Hogan arrived. Hulk. What is he doing? God, is he the third man?
He's the third man.
What the hell is going on here?
Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW. He is the third man.
Look at this
picture.
Oh my God! What the hell is going on? Oh my God!
Did you watch the multi-part documentary on him?
Yeah.
So did I. It was good. And his daughter wasn't talking to him. She's like a waitress now, Brooke Hogan.
Yeah.
It used to be. I'm sure you've interviewed Brooke Hogan, Hardy. You had to have.
I don't think so.
Because anything you'd go to, Hulk Hogan would show up. But in order to talk to Hulk Hogan, you had to talk to Brooke. So Brooke would sit down, and then you would have to throw some questions to Brooke, which I'm sure maybe in retrospect she realizes wasn't the best way to handle her music career. Is walking around with her father with the obligation to talk to her. Don't know if it's ever a good idea to be obligated.
Yeah.
To be the interview subject.
Right.
Like when we had Nikki Sixx on when he was in 6 a.m. or whatever dumb band that wasn't Motley Crue he was in. And I had, the Heroin Diaries had just come out. And we had him on. And I asked him something about his life, which is what the Heroin Diaries were, and was something that, was for sale that he had written and, gotten paid by a publisher and wanted it in bookstores. And he started going well, I don't want to talk about it. Talk to whoever, DJ Ashaba or whoever the else was
somebody
in there.
else in the band. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you wrote this book.
Right.
You don't get to dictate. And by the way, I'm sure this other guy feels fantastic that he has to, pressure you into talking to him. Who do we have in? The Jason Schwartzman, and he was in with someone else plugging a movie. And I told Schwartzman that the Bored to Death show I really liked. And there was an episode where he's getting extorted, or they're catching an extortionist. And Galifianakis and Ted Danson get high in the car while they're waiting for him. And I said, it's the funniest episode of television I've seen this year. And he was like, oh, wow, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And the guy that was with him was pissed off that I was
You were
praising
talking
him.
about Scott Pilgrim versus the World? Or
Yeah,
whatever,
I was praising him for something else. And it's you realize that this all fits into your project. If he was really good in something,
it's happened to you. It happened with God. Who was that? Who was the guy in the diving show? We didn't want to talk about.
Oh,
football.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah, Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens.
I've seen Billy Bob Thornton doing interviews where he's only talking about his music, and he won't talk. It's like you're Billy Bob Thornton.
I was here remember Rappaport wouldn't talk about the Barstool stuff, but he came on anyways. I think you hung up on him. And he called back.
Well, he's just all shtick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all shtick with him. I don't even know what's real with him. And he's a pretty talented actor.
Yeah.
And he made that Beats, Rhymes, and Life documentary about Tribe Called Quest, which was good. I don't know why he acts like that. I don't even think that's how he probably normally is. That was weird. But that might have been a lawsuit embarrassing thing that he didn't want to talk about. It's like when you write a book. Tom Green was in here one time to promote a show. And I had read his autobiography, and he started going I don't really want to talk about the Drew Barrymore thing. And I go, okay, I don't want to dwell on it, but I did read your book, and I think therefore, I do deserve a little grace. And I do believe that if someone wrote about their life and you took the time to read it, that's, I think, a very legitimate place to come from.
Right.
I know I certainly would feel that way. Like, oh, this guy took the time. I did it before I even knew I was going to interview him. He took the time to buy my book and sit down and invest however many hours that took to read it. He was interested enough in me. And now he's asking me something about my life that's in the book that I wrote. And I'm going to tell him I don't want to talk about it. And no, in fairness, Tom Green went, okay, I get it. He invented the podcast, and I'm not making that up. Tom Green was the first guy to go live on the internet, first famous guy to go live on the internet doing a talk show.
I think one of the guys who's going to be in here on Thursday might have something to say about that. I believe the Patriots claimed one of the first podcasts.
Damn it.
I'll ask Paul Perillo about it.
Well, Perillo invented the wheel, so he's got that going for him. And fire. All right. I'm saying he's old. All right. Joe. Thank you, Joe.
I'll see you Friday.
Oh, yes. You'll be in on Friday. I will be back on Friday. I'm off to ASAP Rocky in Detroit. So wish me luck. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow.